My child, stop for a moment. There is a trap near you, subtle, silent, strategic, and if you are not alert, it will cost you more than you think. I need you to listen carefully, not casually. Stay with me all the way through this message because what I am about to uncover will expose patterns you have almost normalized. You may feel conviction. You may feel resistance. Do not click away when that happens. Attention is confirmation. This is time sensitive. What you recognize today can protect your tomorrow. Lean in. Guard your focus. What I am about to reveal is not just information. It is intervention. My child, I need you to slow down with me right now because what I am about to tell you is not loud, and it is not dramatic, and it is not something the world would label as dangerous. That is exactly why you must listen carefully. You are standing near something that looks harmless. It does not look like rebellion. It does not look like destruction. It looks reasonable. It feels manageable. It even feels familiar. And because it feels familiar, you have lowered your guard. You have told yourself that everything is fine, that you are just navigating life like everyone else, that the subtle tension in your spirit is nothing more than stress. But deep inside, you know something has been shifting. You have felt a small distance growing between your peace and your daily choices. You have sensed that your focus has been pulled in directions that do not fully align with the person you know you are meant to become. I am not speaking to accuse you. I am speaking because I love you too much to let you drift into something quietly harmful while believing you are still safe. The trap is not obvious. It does not announce itself. It wraps itself in comfort and routine. It tells you that you deserve a break from discipline, that you can ease up on the boundaries that once protected you, that you can revisit habits you thought you outgrew. You have been negotiating with small compromises, convincing yourself they are temporary. You have allowed certain thoughts to linger longer than you used to. You have entertained conversations and influences that subtly reshape how you see yourself and your calling. None of this felt dramatic enough to confront, so you let it stay. And now you feel slightly unsettled, not because you have fallen, but because you sense the slope beneath your feet. I am asking you to recognize that slope before it becomes a slide. You are not trapped yet, but you are closer than you realize. And I am reaching for you now, not with anger, not with condemnation, but with clarity. I want you to see what you could not see clearly on your own. I want you to understand that your peace is too valuable to gamble with slow erosion. You have been telling yourself that you are still in control. In many ways you are. But control can fade quietly when you repeatedly step near something that weakens your resolve. You may not have crossed any obvious lines, yet your discernment has felt a little dull lately. Decisions that once required prayer now feel automatic. Convictions that once felt strong now feel negotiable. You have adapted to an environment that slowly lowers your spiritual alertness. And because the changes were gradual, you did not resist them with urgency. That is how subtle traps work. They never demand your collapse in a single moment. They invite you into gradual adjustment until what once felt wrong begins to feel normal. I am not asking you to panic. I am asking you to pay attention. You are too important to me to let you wander into something that will cost you more than you imagine. I see the path ahead more clearly than you do, and I know where certain compromises eventually lead. That is why I am interrupting you now. I want you to feel my heart in this. I am not disappointed in you. I am protective of you. There is a difference. I know how tired you have been. I know how heavy some seasons have felt. You have wanted relief, and when something offered comfort, you lean toward it without examining it too closely. That does not make you weak. It makes you human. But you are not meant to be led only by what feels relieving in the moment. You are meant to be guided by wisdom that sees beyond the present emotion. The trap near you is built around temporary comfort that carries long-term consequence. It whispers that you can handle it, that you will know when to stop, that you are strong enough not to be affected. I am telling you gently but firmly, you do not need to test your strength there. You do not need to prove anything by standing close to what can slowly undo you. I would rather pull you back now while it is still easy to step away than watch you struggle later to climb out of something deeper. So listen to that unease you have been dismissing. That quiet hesitation you felt was not random. That subtle check in your spirit was not overthinking. It was me guiding you. You do not have to feel shame for being near the edge. You only need to respond before you go further. Come back into awareness with me. Let me sharpen your discernment again. Let me restore the clarity that has felt slightly blurred. You are not trapped yet, my child, but you are close enough that I will not stay silent. I love you too much for that. My child, I want you to sit with this gently, but honestly. You have been leaning on a word that feels harmless, almost polite. You have been telling yourself, later. You have used it when conviction nudged you. You have used it when I stirred your heart. You have used it when you sensed you needed to make a change, but did not feel ready. And I understand why you did it. You were tired. You were overwhelmed. You were unsure. Later felt softer than no. It felt responsible, even mature. But I need you to see something clearly now. Later has quietly become a slow leak in your obedience. It has become the comfortable cushion that keeps you from stepping into what I have already prepared for you. You did not wake up and decide to delay your destiny. It happened in small postponements. You told yourself you would pray more deeply when your schedule cleared. You told yourself you would set boundaries when the timing felt less complicated. You told yourself you would let go of certain habits when you felt stronger. You postponed conversations. You postponed discipline. You postponed surrender. And each postponement felt justified in the moment. I am not accusing you. I am inviting you to see the pattern. The illusion of later is subtle because it does not feel rebellious. It feels patient. It feels careful. But in your specific season, delay is not neutral. Delay is directional. It nudges you away from momentum and into maintenance. It keeps you managing what I am asking you to transform. Listen closely to me. You do not have unlimited tomorrows to fix what you know needs attention today. I am not threatening you. I'm awakening you. Time is not your enemy, but it is not endless. The opportunity you sense in your spirit right now has a window. Windows open and close quietly. They do not always slam shut with warning. They simply shift. And you feel that shift already. That is why there is restlessness in you. That is why you cannot fully relax into distraction anymore. Your spirit knows you are being called forward. Yet you keep negotiating with the idea that you can answer later. I am telling you gently, but firmly, do not keep pushing sacred instruction into an undefined future. Act now. Speak now. Adjust now. Pray now. Draw the boundary now. The trap is not catastrophe. The trap is complacency dressed as patience. You have said to yourself that you need more clarity before you move. But clarity often comes while you move, not before. You have said you need more confidence before you commit. Confidence grows from obedience, not hesitation. You have told yourself that you will step forward once fear fades. Fear rarely fades without confrontation. I am asking you to stop waiting for perfect conditions. You will not find them. You are being refined in real time. This is not a rehearsal for your life. This is your life. The moment you are in matters. The decision in front of you carries weight. Do not minimize it. Do not dismiss the urgency I am placing in your spirit. It is not panic. It is purposeful pressure. It is a holy nudge. Respond to it. Come closer to me right now. Do not analyze this away. Do not scroll past this internally. I want you to examine where you have been saying later when you already know what I asked of you. Be honest with yourself. Where have you delayed repentance? Where have you delayed reconciliation? Where have you delayed discipline? Where have you delayed courage? I am not asking you to overhaul your entire life in 1 hour. I am asking you to take one clear step that you have already been postponing. Send the message. Make the appointment. End the pattern. Start the habit. Choose alignment. Later is not your refuge. Obedience is your refuge. And when you step forward now instead of waiting for a better moment, you will feel something shift inside you. You will feel momentum return. You will feel clarity sharpen. You will feel peace settle in a way that procrastination never provides. Let me speak something plainly into your heart. The enemy does not need you to deny me outright. He only needs you to delay me repeatedly. Small, soft, subtle postponements create distance over time. I am calling you out of delay and into decisive devotion. Not frantic action, not anxious striving, but intentional movement. Get up from passive waiting. Lean into purposeful obedience. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. But you are being summoned. Do not hide behind later when I am saying now. Step forward. I am with you in the movement. Pause for a moment and breathe. Feel the weight of it gently pressing on you. It is not condemnation. It is invitation. And I am extending it because I love you. My child, I want you to consider something that has been happening beneath the surface of your awareness. You did not decide to turn away from me. You did not declare that you no longer care about your spiritual growth. You did not intentionally choose distance. And yet, if you are honest with yourself, you feel slightly farther from the fire that once burned so brightly in you. It did not happen overnight. It happened quietly. Drift is never dramatic at the beginning. It is subtle. It is slow. It is almost polite. You adjusted your priorities little by little. You allowed your schedule to crowd out your stillness. You let noise replace reflection. You began responding more to external pressure than internal conviction. None of it felt catastrophic, but taken together, it has created space between your heart and the closeness you once felt with me. You have been surviving. I see that. You have been managing responsibilities, navigating relationships, carrying stress that no one else fully understands. In the middle of all that, you stopped guarding your inner life with the same intensity. You prayed but quickly. You reflected but distracted. You worshipped but inconsistently. And I am not listing these to shame you. I am describing them so you can recognize the drift. When survival mode takes over, spiritual attentiveness can fade into the background. You did not rebel. You recalibrated unconsciously. And recalibration without intention often leads you off course. A ship does not need to violently crash to be lost. It only needs to drift a few degrees off its intended direction over time. That is what has been happening in your inner world. The drift is quiet, but the distance is real. I need you to hear my tone carefully. I am not disappointed in you. I am concerned for you. Concern rooted in love, not frustration. You are too precious to me to let you drift without interruption. The peace you crave will not return through distraction. The clarity you seek will not grow in constant noise. The strength you want will not develop in passive patterns. You feel slightly dull lately, do you not? Slightly less sensitive to conviction. Slightly less energized in purpose. That is not because you are broken. It is because drift numbs gradually. When you remain slightly out of alignment long enough, misalignment begins to feel normal. I am calling you back gently but firmly. Come back to attentiveness. You not wait for a crisis to reawaken your hunger. You might be thinking that you will fix this when life slows down. But life rarely slows on its own. You must choose stillness. You must carve space. You must protect time with me as fiercely as you protect deadlines and obligations. I am inviting you, even commanding you in love, to reset your direction. Do not panic. Do not spiral into guilt. Simply turn. That is all repentance truly is. A turning. Shift your focus back toward me. Open your heart again without pretense. Speak honestly to me about how you have been feeling. Admit the fatigue. Admit the distraction. Admit the drift. Then let me realign you. You are not far beyond reach. You are not lost at sea. You are still within the sound of my voice. But do not ignore this moment. Drift grows stronger when it is left unaddressed. Step toward me intentionally today. Reestablish what you once protected. Guard your mind more carefully. Filter what influences you. Protect your mornings. Protect your evenings. Invite me into your thoughts instead of letting them run unattended. This is time sensitive not because I am impatient, but because drift compounds quietly. Return now while the correction is simple. I am here. I have not moved. I am steady. Come back into closeness. Come back into clarity. And do not treat this as a small adjustment. Treat it as sacred realignment. My child, I want you to lean in closer to what I am about to say, because this is delicate ground. You have not made a loud, reckless decision. You have not shattered your life in a single moment. What has been happening is quieter than that. You have been adjusting in small ways. You have been permitting things you once would have paused over. You have been softening convictions that used to feel solid. And you told yourself it was growth, flexibility, maturity. In some areas that may even be true. But in one specific area of your life, the adjustment has not been wisdom. It has been erosion. Slow, subtle, nearly invisible erosion. You did not intend to compromise. You told yourself you were just being practical. You said you were adapting. You reassured yourself that you were still fundamentally aligned with me. And in your heart, you still love me. That is not change. But love without guardrails can drift into negotiation. You have allowed certain conversations to go further than they should. You have entertained certain thoughts longer than you once would have. You have made space for influences that slightly reshape how you see truth. None of it felt catastrophic. It felt manageable. That is the trap. Compromise rarely begins with collapse. It begins with convenience. It begins with small permissions that seem harmless because they do not immediately produce consequence. Let me speak to you with both tenderness and clarity. Every compromise carries a cost. Sometimes the cost is delayed, which makes it harder to detect. You do not pay immediately, so you assume the price is small. But the interest accumulates quietly. What you allow shapes you. What you tolerate trains you. What you excuse eventually defines you. I am not trying to alarm you. I am trying to awaken you. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond correction. But you are closer to a pattern than you realize. And patterns, once established, become pathways. Pathways, once repeated, become strongholds. I am intervening before that progression locks in. You have justified certain choices by comparing yourself to others. You said, "At least I am not doing what they are doing." That comparison lowered your internal standard without you noticing. You stopped measuring your life against my voice and started measuring it against culture. That shift may seem subtle, but it is significant. When your reference point changes, your direction changes. I want you to recalibrate. Do not look sideways for validation. Look upward. Bring your decisions back into the light of my truth. Do not rationalize what your spirit quietly questions. Instead, pause. Examine it honestly. Ask yourself whether this choice strengthens your soul or weakens it. If you already know the answer, then act on it. Do not negotiate with what you already recognize as misaligned. Come back to clarity. Conviction. Not harshness, not legalism, not rigid fear, but healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not prisons. They are protection. I want you protected. I want your heart guarded. I want your future intact. So draw the line again where it belongs. Close the door you left slightly open. Delete what needs deleting and what needs ending. Adjust what needs adjusting. Do not wait until the compromise grows roots. Act now, while the correction is still simple. This is not about perfection. This is about alignment. And alignment requires decisive action. Let me remind you of who you are. You are not weak-willed. You are not destined to repeat destructive cycles. You are not powerless against temptation. You are stronger than you have been acting. You have spiritual authority you have not been exercising. Stand up in it. Refuse what drained you. Reject what dilutes you. Reclaim the standards you once carried with confidence. Do not shrink back because you fear losing approval. If someone withdraws because you honor your convictions, that withdrawal is revealing something you needed to see. Listen carefully now. I am not withdrawing my love from you because of compromise. I am drawing you closer because of it. I correct because I came. I confront because I protect. I guide because I see further than you do. Receive this not as accusation but as rescue. Make the adjustment. Reclaim the ground. Strengthen the boundary. And feel the relief that comes when you stop negotiating with what you already know is not good for you. My child, there have been moments when something inside you paused. You were about to say something, and you hesitated. You were about to agree to something, and a subtle discomfort surfaced. You were about to continue a pattern, and an internal whisper suggested you reconsider. That whisper was not anxiety. It was not overthinking. It was not insecurity. It was me. And you recognized it, even if you did not want to admit it. You have grown accustomed to noise. Notifications, opinions, advice, commentary about commentary. Your mind rarely rests. In that constant stream, my guidance has felt quieter. Not absent, but quieter. And because it does not shout, you have sometimes dismissed it. You told yourself you were being dramatic. You convinced yourself you were imagining conviction. You labeled discernment as fear. Gradually, you trained yourself to move forward even when that inner check signaled caution. I need you to slow down and reconsider that habit. When I speak to you, it often feels like clarity rather than volume. It feels like a gentle but firm awareness. It feels like a calm knowing that does not need to argue loudly. The enemy, by contrast, thrives in chaos and confusion. Yet you have been more responsive to loud urgency than to quiet wisdom. You have prioritized external pressure over internal peace. and in doing so, you have slightly dulled your sensitivity to my leading. That dullness is not permanent. It can be sharpened again, but you must choose to listen intentionally. I want you to practice something right now. Think of the last time you felt that inner pause, that moment when you sensed, this may not be right. Instead of brushing it away, revisit it. What happened next? Did you override it? Did you move forward anyway? Did you later experience consequences that confirmed the warning? I am not bringing this up to shame you. I am inviting you to learn from it. Your ability to hear me is not broken. It has simply been neglected. Re-engage it. Create space for it. Turn down the volume of other voices. Spend time in silence without distraction. Ask me direct questions and wait for the internal clarity that follows. You have been doubting your ability to discern because you fear being wrong. That fear has caused you to rely heavily on external validation. Advice is helpful, but it should not replace your relationship with me. I want you confident in recognizing my voice. It is steady. It does not manipulate. It does not rush you into panic. It does not flatter your ego. It aligns with truth. It brings conviction without condemnation. When you feel pressured into immediate action without peace, question that pressure. When you feel calm clarity even in difficult decisions, trust that calm. Here is my invitation to you. Begin honoring the whisper again. When you sense unease, pause. When you feel peace, lean in. When you feel internal conflict, examine it instead of suppressing it. Ask me directly, is this from you? Then sit still long enough to perceive the answer. You do not need dramatic signs. You need disciplined listening. Your discernment sharpens through attention. Your sensitivity grows through practice. Let me be clear about something. I have not stopped speaking to you. You have simply grown distracted. But distraction does not disqualify you. It only requires correction. Turn your attention back to me deliberately. Guard your inputs. Reduce the noise. Protect your mind. Create intentional quiet. And as you do, you will notice something remarkable. The whisper becomes clearer. The guidance becomes stronger. The hesitation becomes sharper. You will feel your spiritual reflexes strengthening again. I am not far from you. I am not withholding guidance. I am inviting deeper attentiveness. Respond to me when I nudge you. Do not override it out of convenience. Do not silence it out of fear of missing out. Honor it. Act on it. Trust it. That quiet voice has been protecting you more than you realize. And if you begin listening again, you will avoid traps before they tighten. My child, I need you to become very honest with yourself about what has been occupying your attention. You keep telling yourself that you are simply busy, that your schedule is full because your responsibilities are real, that your exhaustion is proof of effort. I see your effort. I know your responsibilities. I understand the weight you carry. But distraction has quietly woven itself into your routine in ways that are draining you more than you realize. You are not only tired from work. You are tired from mental clutter. You are tired from emotional overload. You are tired from carrying information that was never meant to sit in your spirit. And while you call it normal life, I see this subtle shift happening inside you. Your focus has been fragmented. Your attention has been divided. And when your attention is divided long enough, your direction becomes diluted. You wake up and immediately your mind is pulled outward. Notifications, headlines, comparisons, conversations that stir insecurity or urgency. Before you even sit with me, your thoughts are already scattered. I am not condemning technology. I am not asking you to abandon responsibility. I am asking you to recognize the cost of constant input. When you absorb everything, you begin reacting to everything. You lose the ability to discern what truly matters. You start living in response mode instead of intentional alignment. That subtle shift has consequences. When you are always reacting, you rarely reflect. When you rarely reflect, you rarely realign. And when you rarely realign, you drift without noticing. You have felt it. That fog in your mind. That slight agitation in your spirit. That low-level restlessness that does not seem tied to any one problem. Distraction creates that internal static. It is not loud chaos. It is constant noise. You tell yourself you are unwinding when you scroll endlessly, but afterward your mind feels more crowded than calm. You tell yourself you are staying informed, yet your peace quietly shrinks. You tell yourself you are multitasking efficiently, but your depth of thought has thinned. I need you to see this clearly. What you allow to dominate your attention shapes your internal atmosphere. Your spirit cannot thrive in constant interruption. Pause with me right now. Breathe slowly. Notice how your body feels when you are not absorbing new input. There is a difference, is there not? That sight settling, that faint clarity. That is what happens when you step out of noise. I want you to guard your attention more fiercely. Attention is currency. It is power. It is direction. Where you invest it determines what grows in you. If you continuously invest it in comparison, you will grow insecurity. If you invest it in outrage, you will grow agitation. If you invest it in trivial distraction, you will grow shallow focus. But if you invest it in reflection, truth, and time with me, you will grow stability. You do not need dramatic change. You need deliberate boundaries. Set limits. Turn off what does not serve you. Create moments of intentional silence. Schedule stillness the way you schedule meetings. Protect the first part of your day from intrusion. Sit with me before you sit with the world. Command your mind gently but firmly. Fill it where it will dwell. Do not let it wander unchecked. You are not a victim of your environment. You have authority over what you consume. Exercise it. Listen carefully. The trap of distraction is not just wasted time. It is weakened discernment. When your attention is constantly fractured, your ability to sense my guidance becomes faint. You struggle to recognize subtle conviction because your mind is overstimulated. You mistake emotional spikes for spiritual leading. You confuse urgency with importance. I'm calling you back to focus. Narrow your inputs. Simplify your space. Clear the clutter in your digital and mental environment. You will feel lighter. You will think clearer. You will pray deeper. I want you to act today. Do not postpone this. Reduce one source of unnecessary noise. Remove one habitual distraction. Replace it with 10 minutes of quiet presence with me. See how your internal atmosphere shifts. This is not legalism. It is liberation. I am not restricting you. I am restoring you. Distraction drains depth. Depth requires intention. Choose depth. Choose clarity. Choose focused faith. And watch how your strength begins to rebuild from the inside out. My child, I need to speak to you about something even more personal. You have allowed certain emotions to take control of your steering wheel. You have not done this consciously. It happened slowly. Hurt lingered longer than you expected. Disappointment pressed deeper than you admitted. Comparison crept into your thoughts when you saw others advancing. Frustration simmered beneath your composure. You told yourself you were handling it. You told others you were fine. But internally, those emotions have been shaping your reactions more than you realize. Your feelings are real. I do not dismiss them. I was present when you were wounded. I saw the betrayal. I witnessed the rejection. I understand the ache of being misunderstood. But emotions, while valid, are not reliable leaders. When hurt leads you withdraw prematurely. When comparison leads you chase validation instead of purpose. When frustration leads you speak from irritation rather than wisdom. You have noticed subtle shifts in your tone, your patience, your outlook. You have felt quicker to react, slower to trust, more guarded than before. That is not your true nature. That is emotional fatigue influencing your decisions. Let us walk through this honestly. Think about a recent decision you made while feeling emotionally charged. Did it align with your deeper values? Or did it simply relieve tension in the moment? Emotional relief can feel satisfying, but it often leaves residue. Words spoken in frustration echo longer than intended. Choices made from insecurity create consequences you later question. I am not here to condemn you for those moments. I am here to guide you into emotional maturity. You are not meant to suppress your feelings. You are meant to process them with me before acting on them. Bring your emotions to me first. Do not filter them. Do not sanitize them. Tell me exactly how you feel. Admit the envy. Admit the anger. Admit the sadness. When you hide emotions, they grow in the dark. When you expose them to light, they soften. You do not need to pretend strength with me. You need to practice surrender. Let me regulate what overwhelms you. Let me steady what feels volatile. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are wise when you refuse to let feelings dictate your direction. I need you to pause before responding when you feel stirred. Develop that discipline. If something triggers you, wait. Breathe. Step back. Ask yourself whether this response is aligned with the person you want to become. Invite me into that pause. You will notice something shift when you do. The intensity will settle. Clarity will surface. Wisdom will emerge quietly. Emotional storms lose strength when not immediately obeyed. You have been carrying more than you admit. Some of your emotional volatility comes from accumulated fatigue. You have not fully healed from certain wounds, yet you expected yourself to function as if nothing happened. That is unfair to you. Healing requires attention. Sit with me and unpack what still hurts. Name it. Face it. Release it gradually. Do not rush yourself, but do not ignore it either. Here is my invitation to you. Choose self-awareness over self-justification. Choose reflection over reaction. Choose growth over gratification. When you feel emotion rising, say internally, I will not let this lead me. And turn toward me. Let me speak into it. Let me reframe it. Let me remind you of truth when your feelings distort perspective. You are not defined by your worst emotional moments. You are capable of steady strength. But steadiness requires discipline, and discipline grows through practice. Start practicing today. Slow your reactions. Deepen your reflection. Strengthen your surrender. I am here to guide you through every emotional wave, but you must let me hold the compass. Beloved, as you refuse to let emotion lead you into traps, do not overlook this moment of obedience before you. The enemy would love for hesitation to silence what I am building here, but I am calling you to sow while your heart is tender and aligned. When you release a super thanks, step into membership, or give through PayPal, the link is in the description. You are pouring oil into a lamp that refuses to go out. This message is not just for you. It is manna for the weary, light for the confused, and strength for those quietly battling emotional storms. As I declared, give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and I speak that over you now as living promise. The seed you sow becomes a river that carries my word into places you may never physically enter, yet your obedience will reach. If your heart has whispered, I want to help others hear this, that whisper is my invitation. Do not delay this divine appointment. Act now, sow boldly, and watch me multiply what you place in my hands. My child, I want you to stay very still inside while I speak about this, because this touches something tender. There is a connection in your life that has more influence over you than you have admitted. It may be a person. It may be a group. It may even be an environment that feels familiar and safe. You tell yourself it is harmless. You tell yourself you are strong enough not to be shaped by it. But if you are honest, you have adjusted parts of yourself to maintain that connection. You have softened convictions to avoid tension. You have laughed at things that once unsettled you. You have stayed silent when your spirit wanted to speak. You did not do this because you are weak. You did it because you did not want to lose closeness. You did it because belonging feels powerful, and you feared that drawing a boundary would create distance. I understand your longing for connection. I created you with that desire. You were never meant to walk alone. But I need you to examine the cost of this particular attachment. When you leave certain interactions, do you feel strengthened or slightly diminished? When you finish those conversations, does your peace increase or quietly shrink? Pay attention to that internal signal. Your spirit hath been whispering subtle warnings. Not loud alarms, but gentle awareness. You have sensed that something about this connection is pulling you a few degrees off center. It is not overtly destructive. It is gradual influence. And gradual influence shapes direction over time. Let me speak plainly. Love should not require you to shrink. Approval should not require you to silence conviction. Companionship should not require you to compromise clarity. If you feel pressure to dilute your identity to maintain access to someone, that pressure is revealing imbalance. I am not telling you to sever relationships recklessly. I am asking you to stand upright within them. Stop bending yourself into shapes that are easier for others to accept. Stand steady in who you are becoming. Speak truth gently but firmly. Set boundaries respectfully but clearly. If someone withdraws because you choose integrity, let that withdrawal speak for itself. Do not chase what cannot honor your growth. You have feared loneliness more than misalignment. I see that. You worried that stepping back would leave you isolated. But I want you to understand something deeper. Misaligned connection can feel crowded yet lonely at the same time. You can sit in a room full of voices and still feel internally distant from yourself. True connection supports your alignment, not your erosion. Do not trade long-term wholeness for short-term comfort. I am with you in the space that feels uncertain. I am closer to you than any human presence could be. Now I am going to ask something courageous of you. Evaluate this relationship honestly. Ask yourself whether it pulls you toward purpose or toward compromise. Ask whether it strengthens your discipline or weakens it. Ask whether you leave it feeling clear or confused. Do not answer quickly. Sit with it. Let truth surface without defensiveness. Then act accordingly. If you need to create distance, create it. If you need to redefine boundaries, redefine them. If you need to have an honest conversation, have it. Do not postpone this out of fear. Fear of loss is not a trustworthy advisor. You are not called to please everyone. You are called to protect what I am building in you. And what I am building in you is too valuable to place at the mercy of someone else's comfort. Trust me when I say that I can bring you relationships that celebrate your strength instead of quietly draining it. Release the grip you have been holding out of insecurity. Open your hands. Let me recalibrate your connections. I will not leave you unsupported. I will surround you with what aligns with your destiny. Take a breath. Feel the weight of that invitation. This is not about control. It is about clarity. Stand firm. Speak honestly. Protect your peace. I am with you as you make the adjustment. My child, there is something subtle driving some of your hesitation, and it has a quiet urgency to it. You have been afraid that obedience will cost you something you cannot replace. You have wondered whether saying no to certain opportunities will make you fall behind. You have looked at others moving quickly and felt a twinge of concern that you are missing your moment. That concern has influenced your decisions more than you realize. It has created internal pressure that pushes you toward options that look exciting but feel unsettled. You have felt the pull of possibility and the fear of exclusion at the same time. Let me bring this into the light. Not every opportunity is assignment. Not every open door is alignment. Sometimes what appears golden is simply glitter. It shines brightly, but it does not carry substance. You have equated movement with progress. You have assumed that if you are not advancing visibly, you are falling behind. That belief has made you restless. It has made you impatient with timing. It has made you susceptible to offers that promise speed over depth. I need you to slow your thinking here. What is truly meant for you cannot be stolen by someone else's timeline. Your calling is not a limited supply item that disappears if you hesitate. When you chase what is not yours out of fear of missing out, you risk missing what actually belongs to you. Fear creates frantic energy. Faith creates steady movement. Notice the difference in how your body feels when you consider a decision. When fear is driving, there is tightness, urgency, comparison. When faith is guiding, there is calm clarity, even if the choice is difficult. You have been tempted to say yes quickly because you do not want regret. But quick yes decisions driven by insecurity often create deeper regret later. I am inviting you into discernment instead of desperation. Stop scanning everyone else's progress. Stop measuring your worth against visible milestones. Turn your gaze back to me. I am not rushing you because I see the full arc of your life. You see snapshots. I see the sequence. Trust the sequence. Here is what I want you to do. When an opportunity appears, do not immediately evaluate how impressive it looks. Evaluate how aligned it feels. Ask whether it deepens your character or merely inflates your image. Ask whether it strengthens your peace or stirs comparison. Ask whether it draws you closer to me or distracts you from me. Then wait. Do not rush the answer. Sit with it. Pray over it. If it is truly for you, it will withstand patience. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not overlooked. Those thoughts are whispers designed to push you into hurried decisions. I am not withholding good things from you. I am refining you for the right ones. When you decline what is misaligned, you are not losing. You are protecting. When you wait instead of grasping, you are not missing out. You are positioning yourself for something sustainable. Let go of the anxiety that someone else is taking your place. Your place cannot be taken. Let go of the belief that delay equals denial. Sometimes delay is design. Sometimes the slower path builds deeper roots. And roots matter more than speed. I want you to choose calm over comparison. Choose trust over tension. Choose alignment over applause. You will not miss what I have written for you. But you can miss peace by chasing what was never yours. Release that fear now. Breathe. Trust me with your timing, and step forward only when your spirit carries steady assurance instead of restless urgency. My child, I want you to slow your breathing for a moment and really notice what has been driving you lately. There is a pressure around you that feels intense, almost electric. It tells you that you must decide quickly, respond immediately, secure your place before it disappears. It whispers that if you hesitate, you will lose ground. That kind of pressure feels urgent. It feels important. It feels necessary. But I need you to understand something clearly. Not every urgency comes from me. Some urgency is manufactured. Some urgency is manipulative. Some urgency is a carefully crafted current designed to sweep you forward before you have had time to think. You have felt this in your body. A tightening in your chest when an opportunity appears and you believe you must act before someone else does. That internal rush when you fear that pausing will cost you something. That subtle anxiety when you imagine missing a window. That sensation is not always wisdom. Sometimes it is fear wearing the mask of opportunity. I am not against movement. I am not against boldness. I am against panic-driven decisions that pull you away from alignment. When I lead you, there is clarity even if the choice is difficult. When false urgency leads you, there is pressure without peace. Learn to distinguish between the two. You have been conditioned by a culture that rewards speed and applauds instant reaction. You have been told that hesitation equals weakness. You have been told that decisive action must be immediate to be powerful. That messaging has shaped you more than you realize. It has made you suspicious of stillness. It has made you uncomfortable with waiting. But I am telling you now, waiting is not weakness when it is intentional. Pausing is not passivity when it is guided by discernment. You do not need to move at the pace of noise. You need to move at the pace of wisdom. I want you to test urgency before you trust it. When something feels pressing, do not assume it is sacred. Step back. Ask yourself whether the pressure is external or internal. Ask whether you feel calm conviction or anxious compulsion. If the opportunity cannot withstand thoughtful delay, question its stability. What is truly meant for you will not collapse because you took a moment to pray. What is built on manipulation demands haste. I do not manipulate you. I guide you. I do not corner you. I invite you. There is a difference. Consider how many times you have acted quickly only to feel unsettled afterward. The initial rush faded, and you were left questioning whether you listened carefully enough. That pattern is not random. It is feedback. You have sensed the cost of hurried decisions. You have experienced the weight of commitments made without full clarity. I am not bringing this up to reopen regret. I am showing you the lesson embedded within it. Urgency without alignment produces instability. Speed without grounding produces stress. Right now, I want you to reclaim your pace. Slow your decision-making process. If something truly matters, it deserves reflection. If someone pressures you to respond instantly, resist that pressure respectfully. Say you need time. Give yourself space. Protect your peace. Do not allow fear of losing out to override the voice of wisdom. You are not behind. You are not in a race. Your path is not measured against someone else's timeline. Let me speak something steady into your spirit. I am not in a hurry with you. I am intentional. I see the long arc of your life. I see how one right choice can create months of unnecessary complication. I also see how one thoughtful pause can prevent years of correction. Trust me when I say that restraint is sometimes the most powerful action you can take. Stand firm when pressure rises. Breathe through the impulse to rush. Choose clarity over speed. You are not weak for stepping back. You are wise. You are not indecisive for seeking confirmation. You are disciplined. Guard your rhythm. Protect your internal calm. Let false urgency fade. Then move only when peace steadies your step. I am leading you, not pushing you. Walk with me at a pace that preserves your strength. My child, there is a door in front of you that looks promising. It may not be literal. It may represent an opportunity, a relationship, a role, a shift in direction. It stands there with possibility attached to it. It seems like progress. It feels like movement. And you have been considering stepping through it because you assume that open doors are confirmation. But I need you to hear me carefully. Not every open door is opened by me. You have been taught to interpret access as approval. You believe that if something becomes available, it must be aligned. That assumption has placed you in positions where you later realized you were walking into complexity rather than calling. Doors open for many reasons. Some open because you pursued them aggressively. Some open because someone else extended an invitation. Some open because circumstances aligned in your favor. But alignment is not measured by accessibility alone. Alignment is measured by peace, by purpose, by long-term fruit. Think about how this door makes you feel beneath the excitement. Strip away the surface appeal. Beneath the opportunity, do you sense steadiness or subtle strain? Do you feel drawn by purpose or pulled by pride? Do you feel clear or slightly confused? Your internal response matters more than external validation. I am not trying to restrict your growth. I am trying to protect your trajectory. Some doors are distractions disguised as advancement. They look like shortcuts. They promise quick elevation. But behind them waits compromise, complication, and quiet regret. I want you to approach this differently. Instead of asking, "Can I walk through this?" ask, "Should I?" Instead of focusing on what you gain, examine what it requires. What will it demand from your time, your energy, your integrity? Will it stretch you in healthy ways, or will it slowly pull you away from your sender? Do not let excitement override examination. Do not let flattery cloud discernment. Stand still long enough to sense my guidance clearly. You have felt a small hesitation regarding this door. You labeled it insecurity. It may not be insecurity. It may be intuition shaped by my spirit. That quiet check deserves attention. Do not dismiss it because others are enthusiastic. You are not called to follow collective excitement. You are called to follow clarity. If I open the door, peace will accompany it even if the step feels bold. If I did not open it, agitation will linger no matter how attractive it appears. I am going to ask you to do something courageous. Imagine that this door closes. Notice your emotional reaction. Do you feel devastated because you tied your identity to it? Or do you feel a quiet relief because part of you was unsure? That exercise reveals attachment. I do not want you attached to opportunities more than you are attached to me. When your trust rests in me, closed doors do not destabilize you. They redirect you. You are not obligated to walk through every opportunity presented to you. Discernment is strength. Saying no can be as powerful as saying yes. If this door is mine, it will remain open long enough for you to step through it without panic. If it closes because you paused to pray, then it was not anchored in my timing. Release the fear that you must grab every chance quickly. You are not scavenging for scraps. You are stewarding a calling. Stand before that door with calm evaluation. Ask me directly for clarity. Wait for the answer without forcing it. If peace grows as you consider stepping forward, move with confidence. If unrest intensifies, step back without shame. I am not measuring your success by how many doors you enter. I'm measuring your growth by how faithfully you follow my leading. Do not be dazzled by access. Be guided by alignment. I am guarding you from rooms that would exhaust you. Trust that protection. Let the wrong doors close. Walk through the right ones steadily. I am with you either way, but I would rather guide you into strength than watch you recover from unnecessary strain. My child, I want you to be very honest with yourself about something that has been quietly happening inside you. Your confidence has not shattered all at once. It has thinned. It has worn down in layers, like stone shaped slowly by steady water. You used to trust your ability to hear me. You used to move with a steadiness that did not require constant reassurance. You were not perfect, but you were anchored. Recently, though, you have been second-guessing your instincts. You have questioned your judgment. You have wondered whether you are misreading everything. That uncertainty has not come from nowhere. It has grown from repeated moments where you ignored your inner convictions, where you allowed distraction to dilute clarity, where you permitted compromise to blur your discernment. Over time, that pattern eroded your trust in yourself. You started telling yourself that you are inconsistent. You labeled yourself unreliable. You replayed decisions that did not work out and used them as evidence that you cannot trust your own perception. That internal narrative has been heavy. It has shaped how you approach new opportunities. You hesitate more. You doubt your ability to decide wisely. You look outward for confirmation in ways that leave you feeling dependent rather than directed. I need you to understand something deeply. Your confidence was not meant to be rooted in flawless performance. It was meant to be rooted in relationship with me. When you anchor your confidence in outcomes, every mistake feels like identity failure. When you anchor it in me, mistakes become instruction rather than condemnation. Listen carefully. The enemy benefits when you distrust yourself completely. If you believe you cannot hear me clearly, you will either freeze in indecision or follow the loudest external voice available. Both outcomes weaken your agency. But I did not design you to move through life paralyzed. I gave you discernment. I placed intuition within you. I shaped your conscience. Yes, you are capable of error. That does not make you incapable of wisdom. You learn. You adjust. You grow. Stop defining yourself by isolated missteps. Those moments were not proof that you are incapable. They were proof that you are human. I want you to rebuild your confidence deliberately. Start small. Make a decision you have been postponing. Pray over it. Then move forward calmly. Observe the outcome without harsh self-criticism. If it works well, acknowledge that you navigated it thoughtfully. If it does not unfold perfectly, evaluate what you learned instead of attacking yourself. Confidence grows through practice. You strengthen it by engaging, not by withdrawing. Do not wait until you feel certain before acting. Certainty often follows obedience, not the other way around. You have also absorbed criticism that was never meant to define you. Some of it came from others. Some of it came from your own internal voice. Words linger. They echo. They create doubt. But not every critique is truth. Discern between constructive correction and destructive commentary. When someone points out a genuine area for growth, receive it with humility. When someone projects their insecurity onto you, release it. You are not obligated to carry every opinion spoken over you. Stand firm in your identity. You are my child. That identity is steady even when your performance fluctuates. Here is what I want you to do right now. Speak differently to yourself. When doubt surfaces, counter it with grounded truth. Remind yourself that you are learning, not failing. Remind yourself that wisdom develops over time. Remind yourself that I am guiding you even when you feel uncertain. You do not need exaggerated confidence. You need stable confidence. Stable confidence grows from quiet trust. Quiet trust grows from consistent connection. Stop rehearsing past mistakes as proof of incapacity. Start reviewing them as chapters of growth. Stand upright. Lift your head. You are not fragile. You are forming. And formation requires process. I am not disappointed in your journey. I am invested in it. Trust that I am strengthening you through it. My child, there is something else I need to speak into gently but firmly. You have grown tired of feeling deeply. You have carried disappointment, betrayal, delay, and pressure for longer than you expected. At some point, your heart quietly chose protection over vulnerability. You did not announce it. You simply began caring less intensely. You reduced your emotional investment. You pulled back slightly from hope because hope felt risky. That withdrawal brought temporary relief. It felt safer not to expect too much. It felt easier not to engage fully. That state is what I want to address with you now. Numbness is subtle. It does not scream. It's settled. It convinces you that detachment equals strength. It tells you that if you do not feel as much, you cannot be hurt as much. And for a while, it feels true. But numbness also dulls joy. It blunts passion. It reduces your sensitivity to my presence. When you turn down the volume on pain, you also lower the volume on purpose. You have noticed that certain things that once stirred you deeply now feel distant. That is not because your calling disappeared. It is because your emotional defenses thickened. I do not condemn you for protecting yourself. You have been through seasons that stretched you thin. You endured silence when you expected answers. You faced setbacks that tested your resilience. It makes sense that part of you wanted relief. But relief through numbness is not sustainable. It is a temporary shield that becomes a barrier over time. You cannot live fully while guarding yourself from every possible disappointment. Growth requires engagement. Healing requires openness. Strength requires feeling without being ruled by those feelings. I am inviting you back into emotional honesty. Not reckless vulnerability with everyone, but authentic openness with me. Bring me your fatigue. Tell me where you stopped hoping. Admit where you stopped believing fully. There is no shame in that confession. I already know. What matters is that you allow me to soften what has hardened. Numbness cannot protect you from everything. It can only delay deeper healing. You deserve more than emotional survival. You deserve restoration. Begin by noticing where you feel disengaged. What once inspired you that now feels flat? What relationships have you kept at arm's length to avoid risk? What dreams have you quietly shelved because you fear disappointment? Do not judge yourself for those responses. Simply acknowledge them. Awareness is the first step toward renewal. Then take small steps toward re-engagement. Revisit a goal. Reconnect intentionally. Pray with renewed honesty. You do not have to flood your heart open at once. You can begin gradually. Here is something important for you to understand. Numbness may shield you from pain, but it also distances you from intimacy with me. When your heart is guarded, you struggle to experience my presence fully. I am not asking you to become emotionally reckless. I am asking you to trust me with your vulnerability. Let me hold what scares you. Let me steady what feels uncertain. Let me comfort what still aches. Command your heart gently but clearly. I will not live closed. Then act in alignment with that declaration. Choose connection over isolation. Choose hope over resignation. Choose engagement over detachment. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are alive, and life requires sensitivity. I am here to restore what fatigue has dulled. I am here to revive what discouragement dimmed. You do not need to protect yourself from me. Open your heart again. Let me breathe strength back into it, and trust that renewed vulnerability will not destroy you. It will refine you. My child, I want you to sit with me in honesty right now, because there is a pattern in your life that you already recognize, even if you rarely name it out loud. You have broken free before. You have made bold decisions. You have drawn boundaries. You have felt strong, steady, certain. And then, over time, you found yourself slowly circling back to the very things you once said you would never return to. It has not always been dramatic. Sometimes it has been subtle. A thought revisited. A habit reintroduced. A compromise re-entertained. You promised yourself it would be different this time. Yet the cycle felt familiar. And each time you noticed it, a quiet frustration settled over you. You wondered why you keep returning to what you already know weakens you. I need you to understand something gently, but clearly. Repetition is rarely about lack of willpower. It is often about unresolved roots. You address behavior without addressing the belief beneath it. You change routines without confronting the emotional trigger that pulls you back. You discipline your actions without healing the wound that fuels them. And so the cycle restarts. You feel strong at first because your motivation is high. But motivation fades if the underlying issue remains untouched. I am not disappointed in your repeated attempts. I am concerned about the hidden source. Until you deal with the root, the fruit will keep reappearing. Let us examine this together. When you fall back into the pattern, what precedes it? Is it loneliness? Is it stress? Is it boredom? Is it insecurity? There is a common thread. That thread matters more than the visible behavior. I want you to trace it. Do not judge yourself while you do this. Observe yourself with compassion. Patterns are teachers if you are willing to learn from them. When you identify the trigger, you can respond intentionally instead of reactively. Without that awareness, you are fighting shadows. With it, you are addressing substance. You have sometimes labeled yourself inconsistent or weak because of this repetition. That label has discouraged you. It has made you question your spiritual maturity. But I want you to shift your perspective. Recurring patterns reveal areas that require deeper transformation, not superficial correction. This is not a sign that you are incapable of growth. It is a sign that you need to go further inward. Stop merely trimming the branches. Dig into the soil. Ask me to expose what you have avoided confronting. Now I am going to invite you into action. Stop approaching this pattern casually. Stop telling yourself it will naturally fade with time. Decide to break it with intentional strategy. If loneliness triggers it, build healthier connection before loneliness peaks. If stress triggers it, develop coping rhythms that do not sabotage you. If insecurity triggers it, strengthen your identity daily instead of waiting until doubt overwhelms you. Do not wait for the pattern to surface before responding. Anticipate it. Prepare for it. But preparation is not paranoia. It is wisdom. I also want you to speak truth aloud over yourself. Not in dramatic slogans, but in grounded clarity. Tell yourself that you are capable of change. Remind yourself that growth is progressive, not instant. Refuse to define your future by your past cycles. The enemy would love for you to believe that repetition equals destiny. It does not. Destiny is shaped by decisions made with awareness. You have awareness now. Use it. Stand firm in this moment. Do not feel shame. Feel resolve. Feel clarity. Feel determination rising in you. You are not trapped in endless repetition. You are in the process of refinement. This time, do not only resist the behavior. Address the root. Heal the wound. Replace the pattern with something stronger. I am with you in the deeper work. And when you break the cycle at its source, the freedom will feel stable, not temporary. My child, as you commit to breaking old cycles at the root, I invite you into a new pattern, one of intentional generosity that disrupts stagnation. Every time you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal gift, the link waits for you in the description. You are planting fresh seed in fertile soil instead of returning to barren ground. This is how cycles are shattered, by sowing where light grows. I have said, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, and I am breathing that promise over your obedience now. Your giving becomes fire in dark places, a trumpet blast reaching souls who are still circling the same traps you just chose to escape. If you have been asking me how to step into deeper maturity, this is one of your answers. Build what frees others. Do not treat this as a casual gesture. Treat it as covenant action. Break the old rhythm, establish a new one, and give now with resolve. My child, there is something even more subtle than compromise or distraction. It is inaction. You have been waiting. You have been observing. You have been thinking. And in many ways, you have been postponing decisive movement. You told yourself you are being cautious. You told yourself you are gathering information. You told yourself you are giving yourself time. But sometimes what you call caution is actually avoidance. Sometimes what you call patience is hesitation rooted in fear. And inaction, the quiet, carries consequences. Do nothing and still do something. Remaining silent shapes outcomes. Refusing to decide is a decision. You have been standing at certain crossroads longer than necessary. You sensed that a step was required, yet you stayed still because stillness felt safer than potential failure. I understand the fear of choosing wrong. I understand the weight of responsibility. But extended inaction slowly erodes confidence. The longer you avoid movement, the heavier the decision feels. It grows larger in your mind than it truly is. Consider this honestly. What have you been postponing? A conversation that needs to happen. A boundary that needs to be set. A commitment that needs to be clarified. A habit that needs to change. You have circled around these issues repeatedly in your thoughts. You have rehearsed possible outcomes. You have imagined reactions. Meanwhile, nothing has shifted externally. That stagnation has begun to affect you internally. You feel restless. You feel unsettled. You feel slightly stuck. That feeling is not random. It is the natural consequence of prolonged hesitation. I am not urging reckless action. I am urging responsible movement. There is a difference. Reckless action ignores wisdom. Responsible movement engages it. You have gathered enough information in certain areas. You have reflected long enough. You are not lacking data. You are lacking decision. And decision creates momentum. Momentum rebuilds clarity. Clarity strengthens confidence. It is a cycle that begins with a single step. I want you to confront your fear directly. What are you afraid will happen if you act? Rejection, failure, conflict, discomfort. Those outcomes are possible, but so is relief. So is growth. So is progress. When you avoid action to escape discomfort, you often prolong a different kind of discomfort, the slow ache of stagnation. You were not designed to remain frozen. You were designed to engage, to respond, to build. Here is my invitation to you. Choose one area where you have been inactive, 10. 1. Define the step clearly. Make it measurable. Set a timeline. And follow through. Do not wait for ideal courage. Act with imperfect courage. Courage often grows after movement, not before. When you complete that step, notice how your internal landscape shifts. You will feel lighter. You will feel stronger. You will feel more aligned. Remember, inaction can protect you temporarily, but it can also prevent growth indefinitely. You do not need to solve everything at once. You need to move something forward. Break the stillness with intention. Step into discomfort with trust. Trust that I am with you in the movement. I am not standing at the finish line judging your pace. I am walking beside you as you take each step. Do not let this moment pass without choosing movement. You are capable. You are supported. You are ready for more than hesitation. Act. Advance. Align. I am guiding you through it, and I will steady you as you move. My child, I need you to understand something about this exact season you are standing in. This is not ordinary time for you. This is not random rhythm. You are at a threshold, and you feel it even if you cannot fully articulate it. There is a weight to your decisions right now. There is a gravity to your thoughts. Small choices are carrying larger consequences than they once did. You sense it in the quiet moments. You sense it when you try to dismiss it and cannot. That subtle tension inside you is not anxiety without reason. It is awareness. It is the recognition that this chapter matters. You have been tempted to treat this season casually. You have told yourself that life will sort itself out. You have assumed that if you simply continue as you are, things will naturally align. But alignment requires attention. Drift requires nothing. And you are too close to a pivotal shift to allow passive living. This is a defining window. It is not dramatic in appearance, but it is decisive in impact. The habits you cement now, the relationships you clarify now, the boundaries you draw now, the disciplines you establish now will echo further than you realize. What feels small today will shape years ahead. I want you to picture your life as a series of intersections. Some intersections are minor. You pass through them without much consequence. Others determine direction for miles. You are at one of those determining intersections. Do not rush through it distracted. Do not scroll past it internally. Stand still at it. Look carefully at where each path leads. You do not need to be afraid of this awareness. You need to respect it. Respect the moment you are in. Honor it with intentionality. You have asked me for clarity about your future. Clarity does not always arrive as a detailed blueprint. Sometimes it arrives as heightened sensitivity to the present. You feel more aware of your patterns. You feel more conscious of your influences. You feel more alert to what drained you and what strengthens you. A heightened awareness is a gift. It is preparation. It is protection. Do not ignore it. Lean into it. Ask deeper questions. Examine your direction. Adjust deliberately. Right now, I want you to stop minimizing your influence over your own trajectory. You are not a passenger. You are participating in the shaping of your path. Your obedience matters. Your consistency matters. Your discipline matters. I am guiding you, but I am not overriding your will. This is partnership. That is why this season feels weighty. It requires engagement. I invite you to slow down and evaluate where you stand. Take inventory of your routines. Take inventory of your relationships. Take inventory of your thought patterns. Which ones are strengthening you? Which ones are subtly weakening you? Do not rush the answers. Write them down if you need to. Clarity grows when you externalize reflection. You are not overthinking. You are preparing. You may feel pressure to escape the weight of this season by distracting yourself. Resist that impulse. This moment deserves your full attention. This is not the time to drift. This is not the time to be careless. This is the time to be conscious. Choose wisely. To be carefully. Act intentionally. Pray deeply. Align deliberately. I am not trying to burden you. I am calling you into maturity. Maturity recognizes the significance of seasons. Maturity understands that not every moment is equal. You are standing in one that carries multiplier effect. Handle it with reverence. Make the adjustments you have been postponing. Strengthen the areas that have grown weak. Lean into discipline rather than convenience. You are capable of rising to this moment. You are not overwhelmed by it. You are equipped for it. I would not draw your attention to it if you were unprepared. Zap forward with awareness. Guard your choices. Honor this intersection. It will shape more than you can currently see. My child, after everything I have said to you about urgency, about awareness, about movement, I want to bring you into something that may feel surprising. Gauze. Not withdrawal. Not avoidance. A deliberate pause. You have been living at a constant pace. Even when you are still physically, your mind races. Even when you are quiet externally, your thoughts swirl internally. That constant motion has made it difficult for you to hear yourself clearly, let alone hear me consistently. I am inviting you into stillness not as an escape, but as a recalibration. You associate pausing with falling behind. You associate slowing down with losing advantage. That belief has kept you in perpetual motion. But clarity grows in stillness. Wisdom surfaces in quiet. Strength consolidates in rest. When you keep moving without pause, you react instead of respond. You decide instead of discern. You speak instead of reflect. Over time, that pattern exhausts you. It drains depth. It thins insight. It blurs direction. Let me be clear. I am not asking you to disengage from responsibility. I am asking you to create intentional space. Build pauses into your rhythm. Before major decisions, pause. Before emotional responses, pause. Before committing to new obligations, pause. That pause is not wasted time. It is protective time. It allows your emotions to settle. It allows your thoughts to organize. It allows my guidance to surface without competition. You may feel uncomfortable with silence at first. Silence can expose what noise hides. In silence, unresolved feelings rise. In silence, fatigue becomes noticeable. In silence, you confront yourself honestly. That discomfort is not a sign to escape. It is an invitation to heal. Sit in that space. Do not immediately fill it with distraction. Let it speak to you. Let me speak to you within it. Right now, I want you to practice something. Close your eyes for a moment after you finish reading this. Breathe slowly. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Notice your thoughts without chasing them. If anxiety surfaces, acknowledge it without reacting. If clarity surfaces, write it down. This is not mystical. It is mindful. It is intentional. It is powerful. You have been seeking answers externally while neglecting the quiet clarity available internally. I reside in that quiet. My voice does not compete with chaos. It waits for space. Create that space. Guard it. Treat it as sacred. Even 10 minutes a day of intentional stillness can recalibrate your internal compass. I also want you to pause before reacting to triggers. When something irritates you, step back. When someone pressures you, step back. When an opportunity excites you intensely, step back. That brief separation between stimulus and response gives you power. It prevents impulsive action. It protects alignment. Understand this: constant motion does not equal progress. Sometimes it equals avoidance. When you pause intentionally, you interrupt patterns. You regain perspective. You reclaim agency. Do not fear stillness. Embrace it. Schedule it. Defend it. I am inviting you into a different rhythm. A rhythm that balances action with reflection. A rhythm that honors both movement and meditation. A rhythm that protects your peace instead of sacrificing it to speed. Accept this invitation. Begin today. Pause before you proceed. Reflect before you respond. Listen before you lead. In that pause, you will find strength returning. In that stillness, you will sense clarity sharpening. In that quiet, you will hear me more clearly than you have in a long time. My child, you have listened. You have reflected. You have felt the weight of these words settle into places you tried to keep guarded. Now I need to bring you to something direct. Awareness without action becomes frustration. Insight without implementation becomes regret. You cannot remain in reflection alone. There's movement required from you, and I want you to approach it not with panic, but with precision. This is not about tearing down your entire life in a single dramatic overhaul. It is about alignment through deliberate steps. It is about correcting course while the adjustment is still manageable. You already know where action is needed. I do not need to spell it out in detail because your spirit hath been nudging you repeatedly. You know the conversation you have avoided. You know the habit that weakens you. You know the door that needs to close. You know the discipline that needs to begin. Stop pretending you need more confirmation. You have confirmation. What you need now is courage. Courage is not loud. It is not theatrical. It is quiet and steady. It chooses what is right even when what is wrong feels easier. I want you to select one area right now, not 5. Not a vague collation of intentions. One clear, concrete action. Define it. Make it measurable. Decide when you will do it. If it is a boundary, articulate it. If it is a conversation, schedule it. If it is a habit, start it today. If it is something you must remove it without ceremony. Do not wait for a surge of motivation. Motivation fluctuates. Commitment stabilizes. Anchor yourself in commitment. You may feel resistance rising as you consider this. Resistance often surfaces when growth approaches. You might think, it is not that serious, or I can handle it later. Recognize that voice. It is the same voice that kept you in delay before. Interrupt it. Speak truth over yourself. Tell yourself that you are capable of change. Tell yourself that you deserve alignment. Tell yourself that peace is worth the discomfort of adjustment. Let me be clear about something. Action will feel uncomfortable at first. You may feel exposed. You may feel uncertain. You may fear how others will respond. That discomfort is temporary. The relief that follows alignment is lasting. When you act in accordance with conviction, your internal world steadies. You regain self-respect. You restore clarity. You experience a strength that comes from integrity. Do not romanticize change. Make it practical. Simplify it. If you need accountability, seek it. If you need structure, build it. If you need support, ask for it. You are not required to transform alone, but you are required to initiate movement. No one else can take this step for you. I will walk with you, guide you, steady you, but you must choose to move. You have spent enough time analyzing, enough time rehearsing possibilities, enough time negotiating with yourself. Now act. Choose alignment. Execute the adjustment. Begin the discipline. End the compromise. Speak the truth. Protect your peace. You will not regret decisive obedience. You will regret prolonged hesitation. I am not pressuring you from impatience. I am guiding you from protection. There is momentum waiting on the other side of your obedience. There is clarity waiting on the other side of your courage. Step forward. Do not shrink back. This is your moment to translate awareness into action. Do not let it pass unused. My child, there is another kind of action that requires even deeper strength. Sometimes the most powerful move is not stepping forward, but stepping back. You have been advancing toward something that excited you. You invested time, emotion, perhaps even identity into it. It looked promising. It felt validating. And yet beneath the surface, there has been a subtle unease. You have sensed misalignment, but you pushed through because you did not want to appear inconsistent. You feared that stepping back would look like failure. Let me correct that perception gently. Stepping back from what is wrong is not regression. It is refinement. It is wisdom. It is maturity. There is a difference between quitting out of fear and withdrawing out of discernment. Discernment recognizes when something does not fit, even if it looks impressive from the outside. You are allowed to reassess. You are allowed to change direction when clarity emerges. You are not obligated to continue down a path simply because you began it. Examine your attachment honestly. Are you holding on to this because it aligns with purpose or because it feeds your image? Are you continuing because it strengthens you or because you do not want to admit it may not be right? Pride can disguise itself as perseverance, but perseverance in misalignment drains you. It pulls resources away from what truly matters. It keeps you busy but not fulfilled. I want you to imagine the freedom of releasing something that does not serve your growth. Imagine the relief of not having to maintain something that feels slightly forced. That relief is not weakness. It is clarity. When you step back from what is misaligned, you create space for what is prepared for you. If your hands are full of the wrong thing, you cannot receive the right thing. There may be social pressure attached to this decision. Others may not understand your shift. They may question you. They may express disappointment. Prepare yourself for that possibility without allowing it to dictate your choice. You are not living to satisfy external expectations. You are living to honor internal alignment. External approval fluctuates. Internal peace stabilizes. Here is my invitation to you. Reevaluate without fear. If you sense that stepping back is necessary, do it decisively. Do not linger in half-commitment. Do not maintain partial attachment. Close it cleanly. Communicate clearly. Then move forward without apology. You are not required to justify obedience to everyone. You may grieve what you release. That is natural. You invested in it. Allow yourself to process that grief without interpreting it as mistake. Growth sometimes involves letting go of things you once believed were right. That does not make you foolish. It makes you responsive to new insight. Stand tall in your decision. Do not shrink under scrutiny. You are not abandoning progress. You are refining direction. Trust that I see further than you do. Trust that when I prompt you to step back, it is because I am protecting you from unnecessary strain. Take a breath. Feel the strength in restraint. Feel the courage in withdrawal. You are not losing ground. You are gaining clarity. Step back if you must. Release what drains you. Walk forward lighter. I am guiding you into spaces that align more deeply with who you are becoming. My child, there are things I have prevented in your life that you will never fully know about. Conversations that almost unfolded but did not. Opportunities that seemed promising but quietly dissolve. Plans that looked certain yet slowly unraveled before they could take root. You interpreted some of those moments as disappointment. You questioned my silence. You wondered why something you wanted so deeply did not move forward. I saw your confusion. I saw the way you replayed those events in your mind, trying to understand what you did wrong. What you could not see was the shield around you. What you could not hear was the quiet intervention taking place behind the scenes. You have assumed that closed doors were signs of rejection. You have believed that delay was denial. But there were situations that would have drained you, relationships that would have diminished you, responsibilities that would have overwhelmed you beyond what you could sustain. I intervened without spectacle. I redirected without announcement. I protected you without applause. Protection does not always look like provision. Sometimes it looks like prevention. Sometimes it looks like interruption. Sometimes it looks like disappointment in the moment and relief in hindsight. Think back to something you desperately wanted that did not materialize. At the time, you felt confusion, maybe even frustration. But now, with distance, you see the cracks that were hidden then. You see the instability. You see the misalignment. That hindsight is not coincidence. It is clarity granted over time. I have been protecting you in ways you could not perceive because your perspective was limited to the present moment. My perspective stretches further. I see where certain paths end. I see where certain commitments lead. I see the weight you would have carried and certain doors remained open. I need you to shift how you interpret disruption. Not every setback is sabotage. Not every redirection is punishment. Some disruptions are deliberate defense. Some detours are designed to spare you from unnecessary struggle. You have labeled certain seasons as wasted. They were not wasted. They were guarded. They were filtered. They were refined. I was removing what would have consumed your energy before it ever reached you. Here is what I want you to do now. Revisit your disappointments with a different lens. Instead of asking why something failed, ask what it may have prevented. Instead of focusing on what you lost, consider what you avoided. This is not denial of pain. It is expansion of perspective. You are not naive for wanting good things, but you must trust that I discern between good and fitting. Some things are good in general. They are not good for you specifically. That distinction matters. Stop resenting the doors that closed. Release bitterness toward delays. Surrender the need to understand every interruption. You do not see the full web of consequences attached to each decision. I do. And when I close something, it is not cruelty. It is care. When I sow something, it is not neglect. It is nurture. When I redirect you, it is not random. It is protective. Trust my unseen protection. Thank me for the battles you never had to fight. Appreciate the chaos you were spared. Recognize that what did not happen may be as significant as what did. You are not alone navigating blind corners. I am ahead of you, clearing paths you do not even know were blocked. Rest in that truth. Walk forward with gratitude rather than suspicion. I am guarding you more faithfully than you realize. My child, after everything we have walked through together in this conversation, you now stand before a decision. not a dramatic public decision, not something that will necessarily be visible to others. A personal decision, a quiet commitment. You can continue as you have been, carrying awareness without change, or you can step into alignment deliberately. This is not about fear. It is about direction. You cannot unknow what you now know. You cannot unsee what has been revealed. Clarity carries responsibility. You may feel tempted to return to routine and let these words fade into the background. That is the easiest option. Familiarity is comfortable. Adjustment requires effort. But you already sense that staying the same will not satisfy you anymore. There is a stirring in you, a recognition that you are being called into greater intentionality. That stirring is not accidental. It is invitation. I want you to choose consciously. Do not drift back into habit. Decide to live alert. Decide to guard your attention. Decide to confront patterns. Decide to step back when needed. Decide to act when required. These are not dramatic vows. They are daily disciplines. You do not need to announce them publicly. You need to embody them privately. Transformation begins quietly. It becomes visible over time. Here's the truth you must face gently but firmly. Neutrality is not sustainable. You are either strengthening alignment or weakening it. You are either reinforcing discipline or eroding it. There is no static position. Movement is constant. The question is whether it is intentional or unconscious. You have the power to choose intentional movement. I am not forcing you. Love does not coerce. I am presenting you with awareness and inviting response. Choose alignment. Choose clarity. Choose courage. Do not overcomplicate it. Begin with small commitments. Protect your mornings. Filter your influences. Address unresolved roots. Act on convictions promptly. Pause before reacting. These choices accumulate. They compound. They shape your future more than you realize. You may fear failing again. That fear is understandable. But do not let past inconsistency paralyze present intention. Growth is iterative. It strengthens through repetition of healthy choices. If you stumble, adjust and continue. Do not interpret imperfection as defeat. Interpret it as refinement. Stand still for a moment and feel the weight of this invitation. It is not heavy with condemnation. It is weighty with opportunity. You are not trapped. You are not powerless. You are being given a moment of conscious recalibration. Do not waste it. Say yes internally to alignment. Commit quietly but sincerely. Then follow through practically. I am with you in every step, not as a distant observer but as an active guide. You are not alone in this decision, but you must make it. Choose wisely. Choose steadily. Choose now. My beloved child, after everything I have walked you through, after every quiet correction, every gentle confrontation, every protective warning, this is where it all gathers. Not in drama, not in spectacle, in a decision. In your decision. You are not standing at the edge of catastrophe. You are standing at the edge of clarity. And clarity always demands response. You cannot carry this awareness and remain neutral. You cannot hear my voice and pretend you did not. This is not about fear-based urgency. It is about faithful focus. It is about choosing alignment now instead of slowly sliding into regret later. You feel it inside you. That mixture of conviction and possibility. That subtle trembling that comes when you realize a moment matters. Do not dismiss it. Do not distract yourself from it. Stay present with it. This is your intersection of intention and action. You have been shown the traps. You have been warned about drift. You have recognized compromised distraction, false urgency, emotional reaction, repetition, hesitation. You have seen the patterns laid out clearly. Now you must decide whether you will walk differently. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be intentional. Listen carefully. Alignment is not accidental. It is chosen. It is chosen in your morning routine. It is chosen in your private thoughts. It is chosen in how you respond when no one is watching. It is chosen in the boundaries you enforce. It is chosen in the pace you adopt. You cannot outsource this. You cannot delegate it. You must decide that your peace is worth protecting, that your calling is worth guarding, that your integrity is worth strengthening. This is not about earning my love. You already have that. This is about living in the fullness of what that love empowers you to become. Right now, I want you to make a conscious internal declaration. Not something theatrical. Not something for others to hear. Something real. Tell yourself that you will no longer drift unconsciously. Tell yourself that you will respond to conviction promptly. Tell yourself that you will pause before reacting. Tell yourself that you will step back when misalignment appears. Tell yourself that you will act when clarity calls. Speak it quietly but firmly. Your mind listens to your words. Your spirit responds to your decisions. You may feel the weight of responsibility. That weight is not punishment. It is privilege. You are capable of shaping your direction. You are capable of growth. You are capable of discipline. Do not underestimate yourself. Do not shrink from maturity. You have outgrown passive living. You have outgrown careless compromise. You have outgrown reactive patterns. Step into the steadiness that has been waiting for you. Let me remind you of something powerful. Every small aligned decision compounds. Consistency builds character. Character builds capacity. Capacity opens doors that would overwhelm a less prepared version of you. When you choose alignment now, you are not just avoiding a trap. You are constructing a future. You are reinforcing stability. You are deepening strength. You are sharpening discernment. You are creating momentum that will carry you further than impulsive action ever could. Do not wait for a dramatic turning point. This is your turning point. Do not expect a louder sign. This clarity is your sign. Do not postpone this decision until you feel more inspired. Inspiration often follows obedience. Begin where you are. Adjust what you know needs adjusting. Protect what you know is sacred. Strengthen what you know is weak. Release what you know is misaligned. Step forward with quiet resolve. You are not alone in this. I am with you in every disciplined morning, in every courageous conversation, in every boundary enforced, in every temptation resisted, in every thoughtful pause. I am not observing from a distance. I am walking beside you. But you must choose to walk. So choose alignment now. Choose intentionality over impulse. Choose depth over distraction. Choose clarity over confusion. Choose courage over comfort. Do not let this awareness fade into background noise. Anchor it. Act on it. Lie from it. This is not about fear of falling. It is about faith in rising. And you are ready to rise. Beloved, you have chosen alignment in your heart. Now let that alignment move your hands. This is not separate from the decision you just made. It is an extension of it. When you release a super thanks, join in membership, or so through PayPal, the link is in the description. You are anchoring this clarity in action and helping my word run like fire across the earth. I declared, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease, and that law of multiplication stands over you now. Your generosity becomes oil that keeps this light burning for souls standing at their own turning point. If something inside you says, "I want this message to reach more people," that stirring is my spirit prompting you. Do not let this awareness fade into good intention. Seal your decision with action. Give now. Strengthen this mission, and watch how I strengthen you in return. And once you have taken that step, let your heart grow still and attentive. Obedience does not end with action. It prepares you to perceive what is shifting around you. What you have aligned with is already sharpening your awareness, drawing you out of distraction and into clarity. This is the moment where faith opens your eyes to what your spirit has been sensing all along. So lean in closely, because what you feel stirring is not imagination. It is a call to be fully awake. My beloved child, I need you to lean in closely today, for the hour is urgent and my heart yearns for you to hear what I am about to say. You feel the shifting of the winds and the heavy atmosphere that surrounds your world, don't you? I see you waking up with that subtle weight in your chest, a sense that something is coming, even if you cannot put it into words. Listen to me. This is the season for you to be truly alert, to wake up from the spiritual sleep that has slowly settled over so many. I am calling you to a higher state of awareness because the time for half-hearted faith is over. Action is required of you, and it is required now. You live in the middle of an invisible battlefield, and the enemy of your soul is not resting. I see the pressures you face at your job, the unspoken tensions that pull at the threads of your family, and that quiet fear that you might be overlooked or left behind. These are not just life's coincidences. They are part of a larger struggle for your peace and your destiny. If you remain in spiritual slumber, you risk falling into traps designed to drain your energy and steal the joy I have set before you. I want you to pause right now. Take a deep, slow breath and feel my presence enveloping you like the warmth of a morning sun. Do you hear it? My voice is not in the roar of the world's chaos or the loud demands of your digital screens. I am the still, small whisper in the quiet of your room, the one that tells you to stand firm when everything else tells you to run. You must sharpen your spiritual ears to distinguish my truth from the noise. The world will tell you to worry about things that will never happen, but I tell you to be calm and trust that I handle the impossible. My promise to you is absolute. As you choose to be watchful, I will be your shield and your defender. No harm shall reach your home while you are under my care. I am stationing my angels as guards around your life, ready to battle the forces you cannot see. Open your heart and accept this call to vigilance. I will lead you through the darkness and into a realm of spiritual strength you have never known. Stay close to me, for I am the everlasting rock, and your victory is already secured in my hands. My child, I want you to open your eyes to the subtle ways the world tries to pull you away from my path, for the enemy does not always come with a roar. Often, he comes with a whisper and a gift that looks exactly like what you've been praying for. You must understand that a trap is only effective if it is disguised as something good, something helpful, or something right for your current situation. Think about the pressures you feel right now, the need to provide, the desire to be successful, the hunger for comfort. I see how you are tempted to take shortcuts to reach these goals, but I am here to tell you that any path that bypasses my timing is a path that leads to a pit. You might see an opportunity that looks like a lucky break, but if it requires you to compromise your integrity or sacrifice your peace, it is a bait designed to hook your soul. I am calling you to look past the glitter and the immediate gratification that the world offers so freely. I know how loud the narratives of modern culture can be. They tell you that you deserve everything now, that your feelings are the only truth, and that looking out for yourself is the highest virtue. But I, your Creator, see the end from the beginning, and I know that the father of lies is woven into those very messages. You feel that tug in your spirit when something isn't right, don't you? That slight hesitation before you agree to something that feels off. Do not ignore that. That is my spirit warning you that the hook is hidden beneath the surface. I want you to stop and ask me for discernment before you take the next step. Invite me into your decision-making process today. Instead of rushing toward the first open door, wait for me to confirm the way. I see how the enemy targets your greatest earthly desires, your hope for a stable home, your need for companionship, your drive for recognition. He knows where you are most vulnerable, and he will place his traps right there. But I am your shield. I will give you the eyes to see through the illusions. When you are offered a shortcut that promises the world but costs you your walk with me, choose the narrow path. The lure of the world is like a shadow that vanishes when the sun goes down, but the rewards I have for you are eternal and unshakable. Command your heart to be still and refuse to be moved by the glitter of worldly promises. I have something much better for you than a quick fix or a temporary thrill. You are my precious one, and I do not want to see you entangled in a web of regret. Trust in my provision. I know exactly what you need, and I am already moving pieces in the background to bring it to you in a way that will not bring sorrow with it. You do not need to hunt for blessings. When you walk in my light, my blessings will hunt for you. Stand firm, keep your gaze fixed on me, and watch as I reveal the traps that were meant to destroy you. I will keep your feet on solid ground, and I will lead you into a future that is built on truth, not on the shifting sands of deception. You must become a diligent watchman over your own life, my child, for your heart is the wellspring of everything you do, and the gates to that heart must be guarded with absolute intensity. Think about what you allow to enter your mind through your eyes and ears every single day. I see you scrolling through the endless noise of the world, soaking in the comparisons, the anger, and the hopelessness that saturates your screens. You wonder why you feel anxious or why doubt starts to cloud your faith. But I am telling you clearly, you cannot feast at the table of the world and expect to stay healthy in my spirit. I am commanding you right now to filter what you see. If it brings darkness, turn away. If it plants seeds of doubt about my goodness or your worth, shut the gate. I want you to examine your inner circle, those you allow to speak into your life and influence your thoughts. Your spiritual safety is often determined by the company you keep. I see the people who drain your faith and the voices that echo the world's cynicism instead of my hope. You must surround yourself with those who sharpen you, not those who dull your edge. It is time to establish a perimeter of prayer around your soul that no enemy can breach. When a thought of fear or a lie about your future tries to enter, I want you to meet it at the gate with my word. Do not let it sit down and make itself at home. Instead, take every thought captive and ask, does this align with what my Father says about me? If it doesn't, cast it out immediately. I am inviting you to find your strength in a heart that is fully surrendered to me. When you give me total access to the secret places of your mind, the parts you hide from everyone else, I can heal the wounds that make you vulnerable to the enemy's attacks. You don't have to fight these mental battles alone. I am right here, ready to wash your mind with the water of my truth. Pause for a moment. Feel the tension in your shoulders and the tightness in your chest. It is the weight of trying to guard yourself with your own strength. Let it go. I am your fortress. When you stay tucked away in my presence, the arrows of the enemy will hit my shield before they ever reach you. I will give you the wisdom to see the hidden agendas in the media you consume and the conversations you join. You are not a victim of your environment. You are a child of the Most High God, and you have the power to choose what you entertain. Command your mind to focus on things that are pure, lovely, and of good report. I promise you that as you guard your gates, your inner peace will flourish like a well-watered garden. You will find a new clarity and a new power in your prayers. I am building a hedge of protection around you, but you must be the one to keep the gates closed to the intruder. Trust me, my child. I see the beauty of what I am growing inside you, and I will not let the enemy trample it if you stay alert and keep your heart for me alone. My beloved, I want to speak to you about a very dangerous pitfall that many fall into without even realizing it, the trap of spiritual pride. It is the subtle thought that says, "I've grown so much, I cannot be deceived," or "I know the word well enough to handle this on my own." I tell you truly, the moment you believe you are beyond the reach of the enemy's tricks is the very moment you become most vulnerable to a fall. Pride is a blindfold that makes you miss the pits at your feet while you are looking at your own reflection. I see your heart, and I see how hard you strive to be good and right. But I want you to rely on my strength, not on your own intellect or your own track record of success. I am calling you to embrace the beauty of a humble and contrite spirit. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself less and thinking of me more. When you come to me with the heart of a child, admitting that you don't have all the answers and that you need my guidance for every single breath, you are in the safest place you could ever be. I see the pressure the world puts on you to be the expert, to have the loudest voice, and to always be right. But I am inviting you to a different way. I want you to be a student of my grace. Learn to say, "Father, I don't know what to do here, but I trust you." That simple admission of weakness is where my power finds its greatest expression in your life. You must be careful not to look down on others who are struggling, for that is the first seed of pride. I see how easy it is to judge the person who falls into a trap you think you've avoided, but remember that it is only by my grace that you stand at all. If you want to remain protected, you must seek godly counsel and be willing to listen when I speak through others. Do not isolate yourself in your own wisdom. I have placed people in your life who can see the things you might be missing. Listen to them. Model the humility of my son, who, though he was King of Kings, took the towel and washed the feet of those who would fail him. I promise you that if you walk in humility, I will lift you up. I will give you a discernment that the proud can never possess. I will show you the path of safety even in the middle of a storm. When the enemy tries to puff you up with your own accomplishments, remind yourself that every good thing you have comes from my hand. Command the spirit of pride to leave your heart and ask me for a spirit of teachability. I want to take you deeper into my mysteries, but I can only lead those who are willing to follow. Stay small in your own eyes, and you will become a giant in my kingdom. I am your Father, and I love you too much to let pride lead you to a crash. Lean on me, and I will keep your path straight and your heart pure. My child, listen closely, for we are in an hour where the truth is being twisted and bent until it barely resembles my heart. You must be aware that the enemy is a master of using my own word out of context to lead you into bondage. He did it in the garden, and he did it in the wilderness, and he is doing it today through voices that sound religious but lack my power. I see your confusion when you hear different people claiming to speak for me while saying opposite things. I see how you struggle to know what is real and what is a distortion. This is why you must have a deep, personal relationship with my word. Do not rely on someone else's interpretation to be your only source of light. You must eat for yourself. I am calling you to distinguish between legalism and true obedience. Legalism is a heavy yoke that demands you perform to earn my love, but true obedience is a joyful response to the love I have already given you. The enemy wants to trap you in a cycle of doing so that you forget the beauty of being my child. I also want you to be alert for wolves in sheep's clothing within your own communities. These are people who use my name but whose fruit is bitterness, division, and control. Test every spirit, my precious one. Does what they say align with my character of love, peace, and self-control? If a message leaves you feeling condemned, terrified, or confused, it is not from me, for I am not the author of confusion. I invite you to start a new journey of scriptural study, not just reading words on a page, but asking my Spirit to breathe life into them. When you are anchored in the truth, you will not be tossed back and forth by the shifting tides of culture. The world's truth changes with the seasons, but my truth is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I see the pressure you feel to evolve your faith to fit the world's narrative, but I am commanding you to stay anchored to the rock. It is the only thing that will hold when the global shaking begins. I want you to be so familiar with the real thing that you can spot a counterfeit in a second. I promise to be your teacher. If you ask me for wisdom, I will give it to you generously without finding fault. I will illuminate the scriptures for you and show you the hidden treasures within them. When the noise of the world gets too loud, come back to the secret place with me and let my voice settle the matter. You do not have to be an expert in theology to know my heart. You just have to be willing to listen to my Spirit. Command the fog of deception to clear from your mind in my name. I am giving you a sharp sword, the sword of the Spirit, to cut through every lie. Walk boldly in the truth, for the truth is the only thing that will ever truly set you free. I am with you, and I will never let you be led astray if you keep your eyes on me. My child, do not turn away now, for my heart would deeply grieve to see you walk back into the fog just as the light is beginning to break. We have only just begun to uncover the snares that have kept you bound, and to stop now would be to leave your soul vulnerable in the heat of the battle. I have poured my Spirit into these words for your protection. Do not disappoint the grace I am offering by closing your ears before the work is complete. Stay with me, for the revelations ahead are the very keys to the freedom you have been crying out for in the dark. My child, there is a specific word I have for you today, and it is a word of now. I see how you often put off the things I am calling you to do, telling yourself that you will get to it tomorrow, or when life is less busy, or when you feel more spiritual. But I am here to tell you that some decisions cannot be delayed. There is a procrastination trap that the enemy uses to steal your breakthroughs. He knows that if he can't make you say no, he will just try to make you say later. But later is often the thief of never. I am calling you to respond to the Holy Spirit's convictions in this very moment. That person you need to forgive, do it now. A habit you need to break, lay it down now. That step of faith you've been scared to take it now. Time is a gift I have given you, but it is a gift that must be used wisely and with a sense of divine urgency. I see the window of opportunity that is open over your life right now, and I don't want you to miss it because you were waiting for a perfect moment that will never come. The perfect moment is when I speak, and the perfect response is immediate obedience. I see your anxiety about the future, but the future is shaped by the choices you make in the present. When you choose to obey me today, you are unlocking the doors for the miracles of tomorrow. Do not let the enemy lull you into a spiritual laziness that makes you miss the move of my Spirit in your life. I am inviting you to step into your current breakthrough. It is right there, just on the other side of your yes. I know you feel tired, and I know you feel like you've been waiting forever. But I am telling you the tide is turning. I see the work I am doing in your heart, and it is coming to a point of completion. But you must partner with me. I will not force you to move, but I will prompt you with my love. Feel that pull in your spirit right now. That is me calling you forward. Do not look back at your past failures and do not worry about your future fears. Focus on the instruction I am giving you for today. I promise that as you choose obedience in the present moment, I will provide everything you need for the journey. You don't need to see the whole map. You just need to trust the guide. I am walking beside you, and I will give you the strength for the next step. Command the spirit of delay to leave your life. I am releasing a fresh anointing of speed and clarity over you. You will no longer feel like you are walking through mud. You will feel the wind of my spirit at your back. This is your hour, my beloved. This is the moment for your transformation. Do not wait another second. Give me your heart. Give me your yes, and let's move into the greatness I have prepared for you. The time is now, and I am ready when you are. My child, I want you to take a deep breath and feel the weight of my hands resting on your shoulders, because there is a spirit of fear that has been trying to wrap its cold fingers around your heart, and I am here to break those shackles once and for all. I see the way you lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, playing out what-if scenarios like a movie you can't turn off. You worry about the bank account, the health of your loved ones, and the stability of the world around you. But I am commanding you today, do not fear. This is not a suggestion. It is a divine mandate for your survival and your peace. Fear is a weapon the enemy uses to paralyze you, to keep you frozen in place so that you cannot step into the territory I have promised you. It is a fog that distorts the size of your problems and hides the reality of my presence. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. I want you to look at that knot in your stomach, the one that tightens every time you check the news or think about next year. I am inviting you to hand that knot to me. You have been making decisions based on terror instead of trust, and that is a trap that leads to the wilderness. When you act out of fear, you are essentially saying that the storm is bigger than the creator of the stars. But I am the one who walks on the waves that threaten to sink you. I see the pressure at your job and the feeling that you are walking on eggshells in your relationships. I see the fear of rejection that keeps you from speaking the truth I've put in your soul. I am telling you now, stand up tall. My love is a perfect fire that consumes fear until nothing is left but courage. You are my beloved, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I am declaring over you right now that the spirit of anxiety is losing its grip. I am replacing that frantic heartbeat with a peace that passes all human understanding, a peace that doesn't make sense given your circumstances, but a peace that is grounded in my character. I want you to remember that I am the great I am. I am already in your tomorrow, arranging the details and making a way where there seems to be no way. You don't have to figure it all out today. You just have to trust that I am holding the pen that writes your story. I command the shadows of dread to dissipate in the light of my glory. I am your hiding place, your fortress, and your deliverer. Walk boldly into the plans I have for you. I am inviting you to stop reacting to the enemy's threats and start responding to my promises. When the world screams panic, I want you to whisper my name. My name is a strong tower, and when you run into it, you are safe. I see the silent prayers you've offered through tears, wondering if I've forgotten you. I haven't. I'm right here. I am the silence in the storm, and the strength in your bones. Shake off the shackles of what if and replace them with the certainty of I am. You are moving from a place of survival into a place of revival. I am with you, I am for you, and I am going before you. Take my hand, and let's walk out of this prison of fear together. My precious one, I see you striving, and I see how exhausted you are from trying to carry the weight of the world on your own two shoulders. I want to talk to you about the trap of self-sufficiency, the lie that tells you that you must have it all together, that you must be the hero of your own story, and that asking for help is a sign of weakness. You have been fighting this battle alone for too long, and it is a trap designed to lead you straight into burnout and bitterness. You were never meant to be the source of your own strength. I am the vine, and you are the branches. Apart from me, you can do nothing of eternal value. I see you trying to do it your way, navigating the complexities of your life with your own intellect and your own limited energy. But I am inviting you to lean back into my grace. I am calling you to an absolute dependence on me. I know the world admires the self-made person, but in my kingdom, the truly powerful ones are those who have learned to be weak in my presence. I see your frustration when things don't go according to your plan, and I hear the way you beat yourself up when you fail to meet your own impossible standards. I want you to stop. Breathe. Relinquish the control you've been white-knuckling for so long. When you try to fight the battle alone, you are an easy target for the enemy. But when you hide yourself in me, you become invincible. I am the commander of the armies of heaven, and I have a strategy for your life that you haven't even considered yet. I want you to find power in your admitted weaknesses. When you tell me, "Father, I can't do this," that is when I can finally step in and show you what I can do. I am inviting you to the secret place, not for a lecture, but for rest and strategy. You've been wandering in a wilderness of your own making, trying to figure out the path through the thicket of your problems. I am the waymaker. I see the dead ends you've hit, and I am here to tell you that those ends are just the beginning of my intervention. I am commanding you to drop the heavy pack of self-reliance you've been lugging around. It's too heavy for you, but it's nothing to me. I declare that my grace is sufficient for you. I am your provider, your counselor, and your king. I see the unspoken pressure you feel to provide for everyone, to be the rock for your family, and to never show a crack in your armor. I am your rock. Let me carry the load. I am inviting you to trade your striving for my peace and your confusion for my clarity. When you stop trying to be God, you finally allow me to be God in your life. I am weaving a masterpiece out of the threads of your life, but you have to let go of the needle. Trust me with the outcome. Trust me with the timing. I am your Father, and I love you too much to let you succeed in your own strength, only to fail in your soul. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. My child, I know that lately, it feels like you are walking through a thick, gray fog where the path ahead is hidden, and the voices around you are all shouting different directions. I want you to hear me clearly. I am not the author of confusion. If you feel frantic, muddled, or torn in a dozen different ways, that is not my hand at work. The enemy uses noise and chaos to drown out my direction, hoping that in your frustration, you will make a move based on impulse rather than revelation. I see the pressure you feel to make a decision right now, to fix the problem, to answer the critic, to secure the future. But I am commanding you to wait. Stop moving for a moment and find the secret place where the noise of the world cannot reach you. I am inviting you into a season of clarity, but it requires you to sharpen your spiritual sight. I see how you've been looking at the circumstances, the logic of the situation, and the opinions of others, and it has only made the fog thicker. I am calling you to the power of fasting and focused prayer. Sometimes, the static in your soul can only be cleared by turning down the volume of the world's appetite so you can hear the frequency of my spirit. Do you feel that restlessness? That is my call for you to go deeper. I want to give you a word that will act like a lighthouse in the dark, but you have to be still enough to see the beam. I am declaring that the fog is breaking. I am your light and your salvation. Whom shall you fear? I want you to use my peace as the umpire in your heart. If you don't have peace about a decision, do not move. If the path ahead isn't illuminated, stay where you are until I give you the signal. I see the urgent demands that are being placed on you, but I tell you that my timing is never late. I am teaching you how to walk by faith and not by sight. When you cannot see the next mile, I want you to trust the hand that is holding yours. I see the specific confusion regarding your purpose and your next big step. I am already standing at the destination, beckoning you forward one small, obedient step at a time. I promise to lead you beside quiet waters and restore your soul. I am giving you a spirit of discernment that will slice through the enemy's lies like a hot knife through butter. Command the spirit of confusion to leave your mind right now. I am anointing your eyes to see the truth and your ears to hear my whisper behind you saying, "This is the way. Walk in it." You don't have to be afraid of making a mistake when your heart is truly seeking me. I am the one who keeps your feet from slipping. I am removing the veils of doubt and the shadows of uncertainty. Trust that I am working even in the silence. The fog is lifting, and the sun of my righteousness is rising with healing in its wings. Be still, my child, and know that I am God. My beloved, I want to have a very real and direct conversation with you about the thief of joy that has been lurking in your heart, the snare of comparison. I see you looking at the lives of others, their successes, their families, their highlights on a screen, and then looking back at your own life with a sigh of discontent. You feel like you are behind, like you missed a turn, or like I am doing more for them than I am for you. But listen to me. Your path is unique because I wrote it specifically for you. When you look sideways at someone else's journey, you take your eyes off the path I have paved for your feet, and that is exactly how you stumble into the pits of bitterness and envy. I am calling you to celebrate the unique destiny I have crafted for your life. I did not make you to be a copy of someone else. I made you to be the only version of you that the world will ever see. I see the hidden envy that bites at your spirit when a friend gets the promotion you wanted or when a neighbor seems to have the peace you are struggling to find. That envy is a poison, and it opens a door for the enemy to whisper lies about my goodness. It makes you want things I have not yet authorized for you, and it blinds you to the incredible provision I have already placed right in front of you. I am commanding you to focus your gaze upward instead of sideways. I want you to find deep contentment in my current provision. I know you are hungry for more, and I have more for you, but I cannot give you the more if you are despising the now. I see the simple blessings you've started to overlook because you're so focused on what you're missing. I am inviting you to a heart of gratitude. Gratitude is the shield that protects you from the snare of comparison. When you start to thank me for the breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, and the grace that covers your mistakes, the power of envy begins to break. I am your portion, my child. I am all you truly need, and everything else is a gift added by my hand. I declare that you are exactly where you need to be for the work I am doing in you today. I am not a God of fairness in the way the world understands it. I am a God of purpose. I give to each according to the mission I have assigned them. Your mission requires a different set of tools, a different timeline, and a different preparation than the person next to you. Stop trying to run their race. I am anointing your feet for your own mountains. I am releasing you from the pressure to keep up with the world's expectations. I love you for who you are, not for how you compare to others. Command the spirit of comparison to leave your heart and replace it with a holy confidence in my plan. I am your Father, and I have saved the best for you. Trust my heart, and watch as I unfold a beauty in your life that no one else can replicate. My child, now that you have released the heavy chains of comparison, your hands are finally empty and ready to hold the seeds of a new, eternal harvest. I am inviting you to move beyond merely watching and into the power of becoming a co-laborer in my kingdom mission. You have seen how the enemy tries to steal your joy through envy, but I am offering you the chance to sow into a field where the fruit is life and the harvest is the salvation of souls. When you support this mission through super thanks or the link in the description, You are not just giving. You are fueling the light that pierces the darkness for others who are still trapped in the snare. I declare over you that as you sow in this urgent hour, I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing that your storehouses cannot contain. Your seed will become a river of grace that carries my word to the ends of the earth, reaching hearts that are crying out for the very peace you have found today. I have chosen you to be a conduit of my provision, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Do not let this divine appointment pass you by. Go now, click the link or use super thanks, and let us expand my kingdom together. I implore you, my beloved, do not let the distractions of the world pull you away from this sacred moment, for it would wound me to see you settle for a half-healed heart. You are standing at a threshold of transformation, and to abandon this conversation now would be to reject the divine strategy I am meticulously unfolding for your life. Your soul is too precious to be left in the hands of the enemy's lies. Stay here in my presence, for my heart yearns to finish what I have started within you. My child, the battle you are in is real, and the hour is far too late for you to be walking around without your protection. I see you trying to face the day's challenges in your own strength, and I see how the fiery darts of the enemy have been finding their mark in your mind and your emotions. I am commanding you right now to stop and fit yourself with the armor I have provided for you. This is not a symbolic ritual. It is a daily choice to put on the spiritual reality of my victory. You wouldn't go into a storm without a coat, so why are you entering the spiritual fray without your shield? Your protection is not a one-time event. It is a daily commitment to staying covered by my truth. I want you to tighten the belt of truth around your waist. In a world of lies and relative truths, my word is the only thing that will hold your life together. If you are not grounded in what I say, you will be tripped up by what the world feels. I see the seeds of doubt that have been planted in your heart, and I am telling you to raise the shield of faith. When the enemy whispers that you are a failure, or that I have abandoned you, or that things will never get better, you must lift that shield. Faith is not a feeling. It is a firm stance on my promises. It is the ability to say I believe God when everything around you says God is gone. Every dart of fear must be extinguished by the certainty of who I am. I am inviting you to take up the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. You have been silent in the face of the enemy's attacks for too long. It is time for you to speak. When the darkness closes in, command it to flee using the power of my scripture. I have given you the helmet of salvation to protect your thoughts. Do not allow the enemy to play with your mind. Your mind is my territory. I see the mental fatigue you've been carrying, and I want you to know that the armor I give is not heavy. It is the very thing that makes you light and agile. Ensure your feet are fitted with the readiness of the gospel of peace. You should be ready to move whenever and wherever I call, carrying my peace as a weapon that changes the atmosphere of every room you enter. I declare that as you put on my armor, you are becoming a formidable warrior in my kingdom. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are a victor through Christ. I see the strength I have placed inside you, even when you feel weak. The armor is my strength made manifest in your life. I am your commander, and I am training your hands for war and your fingers for battle. Do not be intimidated by the roar of the enemy. He is a defeated foe, and he knows it. He only has as much power as you give him through your neglect of the armor. Choose today to be fully covered. I am your rear guard and your vanguard. I am with you in the heat of the fight, and I am the one who will crown you with victory when the smoke clears. Stand firm, my child. You are protected, you are prepared, and you are mine. My beloved child, I want to talk to you about the quiet thieves that have moved into your home and your heart, sitting on the throne that was built for me alone. We must identify the modern-day idols that are draining your spiritual power and clouding your vision. You may think that idols are ancient statues of wood and stone, but in your world, an idol is anything that takes my place as your primary source of comfort, identity, or security. I see the way you reach for your phone before you reach for my hand in the morning. I see how you measure your worth by the likes on a screen or the digits in your bank account. These are not just tools or resources. For many of you, they have become digital altars where you sacrifice your time, your peace, and your focus. I am calling you today to tear down these high places and recenter your life around the true throne. I see the subtle worship of self that permeates your culture. You are told daily that you are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul, but this is a trap that leads only to exhaustion. When you make yourself the center of your universe, you take on a burden you were never meant to carry. I see the good things in your life, your career, your hobbies, even your family, and I see how they become bad things when they demand the devotion that belongs to me. If you are more worried about your reputation than my righteousness, you have found an idol. If you find more solace in a glass of wine or a mindless scroll than in my presence, you have found a snare. I am not a jealous God because I am insecure. I am jealous for you because I know that these idols will eventually fail you, leave you empty, and break your heart. Only I can truly sustain you. I am inviting you to reclaim your first love. Do you remember when your heart burned for me? Do you remember the simplicity of just wanting to be near me? I want to bring you back to that place of pure devotion. Pause now and look at the gods you have been serving. Ask yourself, can your technology heal your soul? Can your status protect you from the storm? Can your achievements buy you eternal peace? You know the answer is no. I am commanding you to clear the clutter from your spiritual life. I want you to set boundaries with the things that distract you. Turn off the noise. Put down the device. Silence the voices of experts who don't know my name. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Everything else is a passing shadow. I declare that as you tear down these idols, a new freedom will flood your life. You will find that you have more time, more energy, and more joy than you ever thought possible. I am releasing you from the treadmill of social validation and the cage of consumerism. You don't need to have it all to be whole. You only need me. I see the fear you have of missing out, but I tell you that the only thing worth fearing is missing out on my presence. Command every false god to fall in my name. I am anointing you with a single-minded focus. You are my child, and your heart belongs to the King of Kings. Let us sweep away the dust of worldly idols and build an altar of true worship in your soul. I am here, waiting to fill every empty space they leave behind with my glory and my grace. My child, listen to the weight of my words, for there is a secret power that many of my children overlook, the power of absolute obedience. I see you negotiating with my commands, trying to find a middle ground where you can follow me and still keep one foot in the world. You give me partial obedience and wonder why you aren't experiencing my full favor. But I tell you clearly, partial obedience is actually disobedience. It is a form of rebellion dressed up in religious clothes. When I ask you to move, I don't want you to wait until you understand why. When I tell you to let go of a relationship or a habit, I don't want you to argue about how not that bad it is. I am calling you to a yes that is wholehearted, immediate, and unconditional. This is the key that unlocks the doors of my greatest blessings. I see the safety you are trying to create for yourself by staying within your comfort zone, but true safety is found only within the boundaries of my laws and my instructions. I am your Father, and I see the dangers around the corner that you cannot see. When I give you a command, it is not to restrict your fun, but to protect your future. Your yes is a weapon that defeats the enemy's plans for your destruction. I see the pressure you feel to fit in, to compromise just a little so you don't look extreme. But I am inviting you to be radical. I want your life to be a testament to what happens when a human heart is completely surrendered to the divine. Resist the urge to bargain with me. I am not looking for your suggestions. I am looking for your submission. I am inviting you to experience the joy of walking in my perfect will. There is a lightness that comes when you stop fighting me. I see the internal conflict that has been tearing you apart, the tug of war between your desires and my direction. Let go of the rope. When you choose to obey me even when it hurts, even when it's inconvenient, and even when it doesn't make sense, you are proving your love for me. And I, in turn, will open the windows of heaven over your life. I see the direct link between your hearing and your following. If you stop following what I've already told you, why would I speak the next step? Return to the last thing I commanded you, and do it with all your heart. I declare that your obedience is breaking the chains of generational curses and stagnant seasons. I am anointing your yes to produce fruit that will last for eternity. You are moving into a season of unprecedented favor because you have chosen to honor my word above your own comfort. I see the specific area where you've been holding back, that one thing you said you'd never give up. I'm asking for it now. Trust me. What I have for you on the other side of that sacrifice is 10 times greater than what you are holding on to. Command the spirit of hesitation to leave you. I am giving you a heart that delights in my statutes. Walk in the power of absolute obedience, and you will see my glory manifest in ways that will leave you breathless. I am with you, and I am proud of the steps you are taking toward me. My child, I need you to understand that the air around you is thick with the power of what you speak. I have given you a tongue that is the rudder of your destiny, yet I see you using it to speak death over your own life, your family, and your future. You complain about your lack, you confess your fears, and you repeat the enemy's lies as if they were facts. This is a trap that keeps you circling the same wilderness for years. You cannot speak defeat and expect to walk in victory. I am commanding you today to align your declarations with my heavenly promises. Stop describing the storm and start speaking to it. I have put my words in your mouth. Use them to build, not to tear down. I see the habit of complaining that has settled over your heart like a dark cloud. During this testing phase, your words are more important than ever. When you complain, you are essentially saying that I am not faithful and that my hand is too short to save you. I see the pressure at your job and the frustration in your home, but if you continue to speak about how it's never going to change or I'm just not good enough, you are building a prison for yourself with your own breath. I am inviting you to use your voice as a weapon of war. When the enemy whispers a lie, I want you to shout the truth. If he says you are alone, you say, "My God will never leave me." If he says you are failing, you say, "I am more than a conqueror through him who loves me." I am calling you to let your speech be seasoned with grace and power. I want you to be a person whose words change the atmosphere of a room. Instead of joining in on the gossip or the negativity of your workplace, I want you to speak life. I see the unspoken prayers you've whispered, and I tell you, those words have weight in the spirit realm. But you must be consistent. You cannot pray for a miracle in the morning and then speak doubt for the rest of the day. Command your tongue to be an instrument of righteousness. I am giving you the authority to command the enemy to flee, but he will only listen if your words are backed by faith. I declare that life and death are in the power of your tongue, and from this day forward, you will choose life. I am healing your mouth from the bitterness of the past. I am removing the vocabulary of the victim and replacing it with the language of the victor. I see the specific things you've been saying about your health and your finances. Stop it. Start declaring my provision. Start declaring my healing. My word does not return to me void, and when you speak my word, it begins to shift the physical reality of your world. Pause and think before you speak today. Ask yourself, is this what my Father says about this situation? If not, keep your peace. I am anointing your speech to be a fountain of hope. Speak, my child, and watch as the walls of Jericho in your life begin to crumble at the sound of your faith-filled voice. My precious one, we must address the heavy chains that are anchoring you to the past, the trap of unforgiveness. I see the wounds you carry, the people who betrayed you, the words that cut you to the bone, and the justice you feel you were never given. You think that by holding on to your anger, you are punishing your offenders, but in reality, you are the one sitting in the dark, drinking the poison of bitterness while they go on with their lives. Unforgiveness creates a legal foothold for the enemy to harass your mind and steal your peace. It poisons your ability to hear my voice and blocks the flow of my blessings. I am commanding you today to release the debt. This is not about how they feel, it is about your freedom. I see you replaying the scenes of your pain, over and over, like a broken record. Every time you do, you are rewounding your own heart. I am inviting you to see your offenders through my eyes of compassion. This is a difficult thing, I know, but I want you to remember that they too are broken people, often acting out of their own unhealed trauma. I am not asking you to excuse what they did, nor am I asking you to trust them again immediately. I'm asking you to hand the judgment over to me. Vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Lord. When you forgive, you are simply taking your hands off their throat so that I can put my hands on your heart. You are closing the door on past wounds so that you can finally move forward into the new thing I am doing. I am calling you to the liberating power of a choice. Forgiveness is not a feeling. It is a decision of the will. I want you to name the people you have been holding a grudge against. Bring them before me right now. Say their names and say, I release them. As you do, feel the weight lifting off your spirit. I see the physical toll that bitterness has taken on your body, the headaches, the tension, the lack of sleep. I want to heal all of that. I am the great physician, and my first prescription for you is mercy. You have been forgiven a debt you could never pay. Can you not release the small debts others owe you? I am inviting you to a life of emotional resilience where the actions of others can no longer dictate your internal state. I declare that the prison doors are opening. As you release others, you are being released. I am pouring the oil of joy into the places where bitterness once lived. I am making you a vessel of my peace. I see the specific person you think is unforgivable. I tell you, my grace is sufficient even for that. I am giving you the strength to let it go. Command the spirit of resentment to leave your soul. I am washing you clean. You will no longer be defined by what was done to you, but by what I have done for you. The healing is flowing right now. Walk out of the shadows of the past and into the light of a future that is unburdened by the weight of old grudges. You are free, my child. Truly, you are free. Listen to the urgency in my voice. To stop listening now would be a tragic neglect of the mercy I am extending to your weary spirit. It would bring me great sorrow to see you carry the weight of the past for one more day when the path to absolute liberation is right before you. Do not treat my words as a passing thought. They are your lifeline in a drowning world. I am calling you deeper, and it would break my heart to see you walk away from the table I have prepared specifically for your restoration. My child, I want to talk to you about the account you will one day give for the life I have entrusted to you. There is a trap of spiritual laziness that has caught many in this busy, distracting world. You feel busy, yes, but are you being fruitful? I see how much of your precious time, the time I gave you to build my kingdom, is being lost to mindless distractions, endless entertainment, and the pursuit of things that have no eternal weight. I have given you unique talents, specific gifts, and a limited number of days. I am calling you to stop wandering and start stewarding. Your gifts are not for your glory, they are for my purposes. It is time to reclaim the hours you've lost and invest them in what truly matters. I see the potential I have placed inside you, much of which is still lying dormant because you are waiting for a better time to start. I tell you, the time is now. I require an account of what I have given you. I see the excuses you make, that you're too tired, that you're not qualified, or that someone else could do it better. But I didn't choose someone else, I chose you. I see the pressure you feel to keep up with the world's pace, but I am inviting you to a different rhythm. I want you to be a faithful servant who stays alert and ready. Whether you are at your job, in your home, or in your community, you are on a mission. Every interaction is an opportunity to use your talents to reflect my light. I am commanding you to audit your days. Where is your time going? I want you to prioritize my presence and my work above your own leisure. I am not a taskmaster who wants to steal your joy. I am a father who wants you to experience the deep satisfaction of a life well lived. There is a reward for the servant who is found working when the master returns. I see the specific talent you've been hiding, the one you're afraid to use because you fear failure. I am telling you to dig it up and put it to work. I will give you the increase, but you must provide the investment. Use your voice, use your hands, use your mind for things that will matter 1,000 years from now. I declare that as you begin to steward your time wisely, I will multiply your effectiveness. I will give you supernatural time where you get more done in an hour with me than you used to get done in a day on your own. I am releasing you from the spirit of procrastination and the fog of aimlessness. You had a high calling, my beloved. I am anointing you with a sense of divine purpose. Command the distractions to fall away. I am giving you a heart that values the eternal over the temporary. You are not a random accident on this earth. You are a carefully placed steward of my grace. Rise up and do the work I have prepared for you. I am with you, providing the strength, the wisdom, and the opportunity. Your labor in me is never in vain. My beloved child, I am calling you to lift your eyes from the dust of your daily grind and look at the horizon, for the world is shifting in ways that many are choosing to ignore. I have given you a roadmap in my word, a series of prophetic markers that were never meant to scare you, but to prepare you. I see the global shaking, the rumors of wars, and the rising tides of confusion that dominate your news feeds. Do not be like those who walk in darkness, surprised by the midnight hour. I am commanding you to be a child of the light, one who recognizes the season and the hour. You must not be ignorant of the direction the world is heading, for the enemy thrives in the ignorance of my people. I see how the culture around you is moving further away from my truth, calling good evil and evil good. This is not a coincidence. It is a sign of the times, and it requires you to keep your lamp trimmed and filled with the oil of my spirit. I want you to distinguish between worldly alarmism and spiritual alertness. The world reacts to crisis with panic, hoarding, and terror, but I am inviting you to react with a calm, resolute vigilance. I see the anxiety that grips your heart when you hear of food shortages or economic instability. I am telling you now, I am your source, not the system of man. When the world shakes, those who are anchored in me remain steady. I am calling you to a deep study of the signs I have laid out. Why would I tell you the end from the beginning if I didn't want you to be ready? I see the specific pressure you feel to conform to the world's new norms, but I am telling you to stand set apart. You are a citizen of a kingdom that cannot be shaken. The more the darkness grows, the more your light must shine. This is not the time to hide. It is the time to be the city on a hill that cannot be hidden. I am inviting you to live every single day as if my return is imminent. This isn't about living in fear, it's about living with purpose. When you realize that time is a finite resource and that the curtains are closing on this age, your priorities begin to shift. I see the trivial things you've been worrying about, the petty arguments, the pursuit of temporary status, and I am calling you to trade them for eternal weight. I am pouring out my Spirit in these last days, and I want you to be a vessel that is ready to be used. Do not let your heart be weighed down with the carousing and the cares of this life. Stay awake. I see the spiritual slumber that has overtaken so many in the pews. They have a form of godliness but deny its power. I want you to have the power. I want you to be the one who can see the trap before it springs. I declare that you will not be overtaken by the darkness. I am giving you a prophetic lens through which to view current events. You will not be deceived by the wolves who claim to have the answers but lead you away from my cross. I am anointing your mind to process information through the filter of my Spirit. When others are fainting from fear of what is coming on the earth, you will stand tall, knowing that your redemption draws near. I am your hiding place in the day of trouble. Command the spirit of apathy to leave your soul. I am igniting a fire of urgency within you. This is the hour for the bold, for the watchful, and for the faithful. I am with you, and I am showing you the way through the storm. Trust the signs I have given you, and keep your eyes fixed on me, the author and finisher of your faith. My child, I want to invite you back to the garden of our relationship, for I see how the busyness of your life has started to crowd out the most essential part of your existence, our daily communion. You wonder why you feel vulnerable to the enemy's attacks, why your temper is short, and why your peace is easily disturbed. It is because you have been trying to run on yesterday's manna. You cannot survive on a weekly visit to a church building or a quick prayer whispered as you rush out the door. I am the bread of life, and I am calling you to feed on me daily. I see your quiet time being eaten away by the glow of your phone and the demands of your schedule. I am commanding you to stop. Reclaim the first fruits of your day for me. If you do not start your morning in my presence, you are walking onto the battlefield without your armor. I am calling you to develop a conversational relationship with me. I don't want a ritual. I want a friendship. I see the heavy burdens you carry, the secret worries about your children, the frustration with your health, the loneliness that hits you when the house is quiet. Why are you carrying them alone? I am standing right here, waiting for you to speak to me. I am the true friend who sticks closer than a brother. I want to hear your heart, and I want you to hear mine. In the secret place of prayer, I build a hedge around you that the enemy cannot cross. When you spend time with me, you soak in my atmosphere, and you carry that peace into the world. It becomes a shield that deflects the stress of your workplace and the chaos of the world. I see how tired you are. Come to me. Let me restore your soul. I am inviting you to a deeper level of intimacy. I want to show you things you haven't seen and tell you secrets about your destiny that can only be whispered in the quiet. I see the daily bread you need for your discernment, the specific wisdom for the problem you will face at 2:00 p.m. today. If you don't meet with me at 7:00 a.m., you will miss the strategy I have prepared for you. I am not a distant God on a throne. I am your Father who wants to walk through the grocery store with you, sit in the car with you, and rest with you in the evening. I see the specific distractions the enemy puts in your path to keep you from our meeting time. He knows that an intimate believer is an invincible believer. He wants you disconnected so he can make you discouraged. Do not give him that satisfaction. I declare that our communion is the source of your strength. I am removing the scales from your eyes so you can see the beauty of my presence. I am breaking the power of the hurry spirit that tells you that prayer is a waste of time. It is the most productive thing you can do. I am anointing your ears to hear my voice with clarity. Command the noise of the world to be silent when we are together. I am pouring out a fresh hunger for my presence in your heart. You will no longer find satisfaction in the broken cisterns of worldly entertainment. You will find your delight in me. I am your hiding place. I am your strength. I am your everything. Come away with me, my beloved child, and let me fill you until you overflow. Our time together is the anchor that will hold you steady no matter how high the waves may rise. My precious child, I need to speak to your heart about the dangerous trap of seeking the world's applause. I see how much power you have given to the opinions of people who do not even know my name. You are living in a digital age where validation is measured in likes, shares, and the approval of the crowd. But I am here to tell you that the world's applause is a fleeting shadow, and its well done is often a lure into a cage. You were not created to be a performer for the masses. You were created to be my child, found in me alone. I see the prayer you feel to look a certain way, to speak a certain way, and to achieve a certain status, yes, to feel enough. But I am your creator, and I have already declared that you are very good. Stop seeking from men what only I can give you. I am calling you to find your identity in being my beloved child. When you know who you are in me, you become unshakable. I see the pain you feel when you are rejected or misunderstood by those around you. I see the sting of the unfollow or the whispered criticism at the office. I want you to use that rejection as a signal to draw closer to me. If the world hated my son, why do you expect it to love you? I am inviting you to the courage to be set apart. It is a lonely path sometimes, but it is the only path that leads to life. I see the way you water down your faith or hide your light because you're afraid of being labeled as too religious or out of touch. I am commanding you to be bold. I would rather you have my well done and the world's who do you think you are, than the world's we love you in my silence. I want you to anchor your worth in my unchanging love. The world's validation is conditional. It is based on what you do, how you look, and what you can provide. My love is unconditional. It is based on whose you are. I see the specific areas where you are still striving for approval. Maybe it's from a parent who never gave it, or a spouse you're trying to impress. Let it go. I am the only one whose opinion truly matters in the light of eternity. I am inviting you to a life of freedom where you no longer need to check the comment section of your life to see if you're okay. You are okay because I am with you. I am anointing you with a holy defiance against the expectations of culture. You are a citizen of heaven living in a foreign land. Act like it. I declare that the spirit of man-pleasing is breaking off your life. I am giving you a thick skin for criticism and a tender heart for my spirit. I am removing the mirrors that show you the world's version of yourself and replacing them with my word, which shows you the truth. I see the specific sacrifice you've made to stay true to me, the promotion you didn't get, the friend group you had to leave. I saw it, and I am your reward. Command the fear of man to flee. I am your shield and the lifter of your head. You don't need to shout to be heard. My favor will speak for you. Walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in the quiet confidence of a child who knows their father is the king. I love you for you, not for your performance. Rest in that today. My beloved, I see the weariness in your bones and the heaviness in your spirit. I want to talk to you about the trap of spiritual fatigue. You have been running hard, fighting battles, and carrying the weights of others, and you have reached a point where your tank is running dangerously low. The enemy knows this. He waits for the moment when you are physically and emotionally exhausted to launch his most subtle attacks. I see the fog that has settled over your mind, making it hard to pray and easy to complain. I am not angry with you for being tired. I am inviting you to my rest. You cannot fight a supernatural war with a depleted soul. I am commanding you to recognize your limits. Even my son went to the mountainside to be alone and replenish his spirit. Why do you think you can do more than he did? I am calling you to the necessity of Sabbath and divine rest. Sabbath is not a suggestion. It is a life-saving boundary. I see how you've bought into the lie that busyness equals faithfulness. You think that if you stop working, the world will fall apart. But I am the one who holds the world together, not you. I am inviting you to lay down your tools and come to me. I see the physical toll your stress has taken, the tension in your neck, the lack of deep sleep, the constant state of alert. This is not my will for you. I desire for you to have tranquility in your nights and peace in your days. I want to rejuvenate your spirit through worship and praise. Sometimes, the best warfare is simply to sit at my feet and let me love you. I want you to learn how to soar on wings like eagles. An eagle doesn't flap its wings harder to rise. It catches the thermal currents of the wind and lets the wind lift it. I am the wind. I am calling you to stop flapping in your own strength and start soaring in mine. I see the specific burdens that have caused this fatigue, the long-term health issue, the financial strain that never seems to end, the emotional drain of a difficult relationship. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I am not asking you to do more. I am asking you to be more aware of my presence. Pause now. Breathe. Let the Martha in you sit down, and let the Mary in you take her place at my feet. I declare that my strength is being made perfect in your weakness. I am restoring the joy of your salvation. I am pouring the oil of refreshment over your head and your heart. I am removing the spirit of heaviness and replacing it with a garment of praise. I see the finish line of this difficult season, and I am giving you the second wind you need to cross it. But you must take the rest I am offering. Command the spirit of overwhelm to leave your mind. I am your hiding place. I am your Sabbath. I am anointing you with a fresh energy that is not based on your caffeine or your willpower, but on my indwelling spirit. You will run and not be weary. You will walk and not faint. Rest in my arms today, my precious child. I have the situation under control. My beloved, as I refresh your spirit and lift the weight of fatigue from your shoulders, I am calling you to ensure that the lamp of my word never grows dim in this world. You have felt my strength sustaining you, and now I invite you to be the oil that keeps this light burning for those who are still wandering in the wilderness of exhaustion. By becoming a member or giving through PayPal, you are partnering with my spirit to reach the weary and the heavy laden who do not yet know my rest. I see your heart's desire to help, and I tell you that what you release into my hands today will be multiplied like the widow's oil, never running dry in your season of need. I am the God who provides, and I promise that your generosity will trigger a supernatural overflow of favor and protection upon your own house. Every soul reached through your support is a jewel in your eternal crown, and a testament to your faithfulness in this time-sensitive hour. I am anointing your giving to break the yokes of others just as I have broken yours. Act now. Visit the link in the description and sow your gift into this fertile soil. My precious one, the hour is too late and the stakes are too high for you to grow weary and silent now. It would deeply disappoint my spirit to see you succumb to fatigue when the crown of the overcomer is finally within your reach. We are approaching the climax of your calling, and to withdraw now would be to leave your destiny unfulfilled and my promises unclaimed. I have held nothing back from you. I ask that you do not hold back from me. stay alert, and finish this journey with your Father. My child, I am calling you to a standard of absolute integrity, for we are in an hour where the little foxes are trying to spoil the vine of your life. I want to talk to you about the danger of compromise. It usually starts small. A tiny exaggeration here, a white lie there, a small shortcut in your business, or a little concession to the world's morality. You tell yourself it's not a big deal or that everyone does it. But I am here to tell you that small compromises lead to great falls. Every time you compromise your values to avoid conflict or to get ahead, you are chipping away at the foundation of your spiritual authority. I see the pressure you face to water down your faith so you don't offend anyone. I am commanding you to be a light that refuses to be dimmed. True light is meant to expose the darkness, not blend into it. I see the integrity required for the time-sensitive mission I have for you. I cannot use a vessel that is cracked by compromise. I want you to be someone whose yes means yes and whose no means no. I see the specific situations where you are being tempted to go along to get along, the social circles where the talk turns to gossip, the business deals that are slightly gray, the entertainment that you know grieves my spirit. I am inviting you to the power of a resolute no to the world. It may cost you some popularity, and it may even cost you some opportunities, but what it will gain you is far more valuable: my trust and my presence. I am looking for those who will stand firm even when they are standing alone. I see the hidden areas of your life where you think no one is looking. I am looking not to condemn you, but to protect you. I am calling you to a life of set-apart holiness. This isn't about legalism. It's about love. When you love me, you don't want anything to come between us. I see the specific compromise that has been nagging at your conscience lately, the thing you've been trying to justify to yourself. I'm asking you to lay it down right now. I have a much greater favor waiting for you on the other side of your integrity. I am inviting you to be a person of your word, a person who honors me in the dark as much as in the light. I see the easy way that is being offered to you, but I am pointing you to the right way. The easy way leads to a trap. The right way leads to the throne. I am your strength. When the pressure to conform is high, I will give you the steel in your spine to stand tall. I declare that you are a person of unshakable integrity. I am removing the desire for shortcuts and the fear of missing out from your heart. I am anointing you with a spirit of excellence. I see the reward I have stored up for those who refuse to bow to the idols of the age. I am giving you a discerning heart that can spot a compromise before it even reaches your lips. Command the spirit of lukewarmness to leave your life. I am setting you on fire with a passion for my righteousness. You are a light in a dark place, and your consistency will be a witness that leads others to me. Stand firm, my child. Do not move an inch toward the world's standards. My standards are the only ones that lead to life. I am with you, and I am your shield of truth. My child, I want you to look around you and realize that you were never intended to walk this narrow road in isolation. I see the enemy's strategy clearly. He wants to pull you away from the herd, to make you feel like you're the only one fighting these battles, and to convince you that no one truly understands your heart. This is a trap. I have designed the body of Christ to be a living, breathing organism where every part depends on the other. I see your hesitation to open up, your fear of being judged, and the way you've built walls around your soul because you were hurt by religious people in the past. But I am commanding you today to seek out a true, spiritual community. You need the protection that comes from the multitude of counselors. When you try to carry your burdens alone, they become a weight that will eventually crush you. When you share them with brothers and sisters who truly love me, the weight is distributed, and the enemy loses his foothold. I am calling you to recognize the strength of a cord of 3 strands. A single thread is easily snapped by the winds of life, but when you are woven together with others who are anchored in my word, you become unbreakable. I see the burnout you've been flirting with. It's because you've been trying to be the source of your own encouragement. I have placed people in your life who have the very word in season that you need to hear, but you must be humble enough to listen. I am inviting you into the beauty of accountability. I want you to have friends who love you enough to tell you when you are drifting toward a trap. I see the specific person I've sent your way, the one who keeps reaching out, the one you've been too busy to meet with. That is not an accident. That is my provision for your spiritual safety. I am commanding you to be a part of the healing process for others as well. You are not just in the body to receive, you are there to give. I have given you experiences, victories, and even scars that are meant to be a map for someone else who is currently lost in the woods. I see the way you hide your struggles because you think you have to look perfect to be used by me. I tell you, your vulnerability is your greatest weapon. When you admit your weaknesses to a trusted community, you strip the enemy of his power to shame you. I am inviting you to bear one another's burdens. When you help someone else carry their cross, you find that your own cross feels lighter. I am building a family, not an audience. I want you to be deeply embedded in the lives of those who will pray for you when you can't find the words. I declare that the spirit of isolation is broken over your life. I am removing the scales of self-sufficiency from your eyes so you can see your need for the body. I am anointing your relationships with a new level of depth and transparency. I see the specific community I am leading you toward, a place where my word is honored and my spirit is welcome. Do not let the wounds of the past keep you from the blessings of the present. Command the spirit of lonerism to leave your mind. I am your Father, and I want you to sit at the table with your brothers and sisters. Together we fight better. Together, we see more clearly. Together, we are an army that the gates of hell cannot prevail against. Step out of the shadows and into the fellowship I have prepared for you. I am with you in the gathering of the saints, and I am weaving you into a tapestry of glory. My precious one, I see the dark clouds that have been hanging over your head, and I hear the sigh in your spirit that feels like it's been there for years. I want to talk to you about the spirit of heaviness. It is a weight that makes your feet feel like lead and your heart feel like a stone. It makes you slow to react to my direction and blind to the beauty I've placed around you. I see the mourning you've been doing, mourning for what used to be, mourning for the dreams that didn't come true, and mourning for a version of yourself you think you've lost. But I am here to tell you that I am the God of the turnaround. I am commanding you to trade that spirit of heaviness for a garment of praise. Praise is not just a song you sing. It is a weapon you wield to clear the atmosphere of your life. I see the trap of dwelling on the what-ifs and the if-onlys. The enemy wants you focused on a past you cannot change or a future you cannot control, so that you are paralyzed in the present. I am inviting you to remember my past faithfulness. Think of the times I pulled you out of the pit before. Think of the ways I provided when you had nothing. That same God is standing right here in your now. I see the specific sadness that hit you this morning, the feeling that you are just going through the motions. I am calling you to rejoice even before you see the victory. When you choose to thank me in the middle of the dark, you are sending a signal to the spirit realm that your trust is not based on your circumstances, but on my character. I am commanding you to replace the oil of joy for your mourning. I see the physical toll this heaviness has taken on you, the way your head hangs low and your eyes have lost their spark. I am anointing you with a fresh joy that the world didn't give and the world cannot take away. I want you to start speaking my promises over your situation. Instead of saying, "I'm so tired," say, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." Instead of saying nothing ever changes, say my God is making all things new. I am inviting you to the secret place of worship. There is a frequency of heaven that breaks the chains of depression and lifts the fog of despair. I see the specific song I've been putting in your heart. Sing it. Even if it's a whisper, let it out. I declare that the heavy yoke of the enemy is being shattered by the anointing of my spirit. I am lifting your head. You are no longer a slave to your moods or a victim of your emotions. I am giving you a steadfast heart that can remain joyful even in the rain. I see the breakthrough that is just on the other side of your praise. I am removing the spirit of gloom and doom that has been trying to settle in your home. Command the dark clouds to scatter in my name. I am your sun and your shield. I am bringing you into a season of lightness where you will soar again. You have been in the valley long enough. It is time to ascend the mountain. Take my hand, and let my joy be the wind in your sails. I am with you, and my love is the light that no darkness can ever overcome. My child, we have walked through the depths of your heart together today, and now we reach the moment where your faith must become feet. I see the specific steps I have laid out for you throughout this conversation, and I am calling you to a final preparation for the action required of you. I see the procrastination that is trying to tell you to wait until Monday, or wait until you feel more ready. I am commanding you, do not wait. The window of opportunity for your current breakthrough is open now, and it will not stay open forever. I want you to review the instructions I have given you. What is the one specific change you need to make in your daily routine? Is it the way you speak? Is it the people you spend time with? Is it the idols you've been serving? Identify it, name it, and cut the ties with it today. I am calling you to anoint your home and your mind for the task ahead. I want you to physically and spiritually clear the space for my spirit to move. I see the clutter in your life, both the physical mess and the mental noise that has been hindering your progress. I am inviting you to take the first step of faith with unwavering trust. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just need to know that I am the one who is leading you. I see the fear that is trying to tell you that you will fail again. I tell you, this time is different because you are not moving in your own strength. You are moving in the authority of my word. I am stationing my angels to go before you and prepare the way. I am commanding you to commit to a specific act of obedience. I see the negotiation you're still trying to do in the back of your mind. Stop it. Give me your absolute yes. I want you to take a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down what you are committing to do. This is your covenant of action. I see the specific sacrifice I'm asking of you, the one that feels like it's going to cost you the most. I promise you, the reward on the other side of that yes will make the sacrifice seem like nothing. I am inviting you to a life of kingdom momentum where one act of obedience unlocks the next door of favor. You are no longer stuck. You are in transition. I declare that you are fully equipped and fully prepared for the mission I have given you. I am anointing your hands for the work and your feet for the journey. I see the courage that is rising in your spirit as you listen to my voice. You are a warrior of the Most High, and the time for retreat is over. Command every spirit of hesitation and doubt to be silenced. I am your rear guard, and I am your vanguard. I am walking beside you in every move you make. I see the miracle that is waiting for you at the end of this path of obedience. Take the step. Make the change. Move into the action required. I am with you. I am for you. And I am leading you into a future that is more glorious than you can imagine. My beloved, my precious overcomer, we have reached the end of this part of our journey, and I want you to rest in the beauty of the reward that awaits you. I see the scars you've earned in this season of testing, and I want you to know that I see every one of them as a badge of honor. You have not given up. You have stayed alert. You have resisted the traps. And now, I am pouring out the peace that follows a hard-won victory. This is the peace that doesn't just feel good. It is a peace that guards your heart and mind with an iron wall. I am commanding you to receive this reward now. I see the joy that is beginning to bubble up in your soul. That is the joy of a faithful servant who has stood their ground and seen the salvation of their God. I am calling you to see how your victory is going to inspire and save others. Your life is no longer just about you. It is a testimony of my power. When people look at you, they won't see a person who had it all together. They will see a person who was held together by the grace of God. I see the crown of life that I have promised to those who endure, and I am placing a spiritual crown on your head right now. You are royalty in my kingdom. I am inviting you into the fullness of my plan, the abundant life that I spoke of. This isn't just about things or money. It's about a deep, unshakable alignment with my spirit. I see the specific blessing you've been hoping for. It is on its way, but even more importantly, I am here. I am your great reward. I want you to rest in the knowledge that you are safe in my hands. No matter what the world does, no matter what the times look like, you are mine. I see the rest of your story, and it is a masterpiece of grace. I am commanding you to live from a place of victory, not for a place of victory. You aren't fighting for a win. You are fighting from a win that I have already secured. I see the specific future I have for you, a future filled with hope, impact, and eternal joy. I am anointing you with a final blessing of strength, wisdom, and divine favor. You will go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth into singing before you. I declare that you are a faithful overcomer. I am sealing the words of this conversation into your heart so that they cannot be stolen by the enemy. When you feel weak, remember my voice. When you feel confused, come back to my truth. I am your Father, and I am so incredibly proud of you. I see you, I love you, and I am never letting you go. Pause one last time. Feel my love wrapping around you like a warm embrace. Breathe in my peace. You are ready. You are protected. You are loved beyond measure. Go forth in my power and watch as I change the world through you. I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. Amen. My faithful warrior, you stand now at the summit of this divine conversation, fully equipped and alert to the traps of the enemy. The fire I have ignited within you today is not for you alone. It is a flame meant to jump from heart to heart until the whole world is ablaze with my truth. I am issuing a prophetic call for you to fuel this movement through your super thanks and membership, ensuring that this life-saving message reaches the millions who are still sleeping on the edge of destruction. Your support is the manna that sustains this mission, transforming your earthly resources into eternal impact for the glory of my name. I declare that as you honor me with your substance, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake and make your life a lighthouse of prosperity and peace. You are not just a listener. You are a pillar in my temple, a vital part of the army I am raising in these final moments. I have placed the power to change lives within your reach, and I am watching with love as you choose to invest in things that have eternal weight. The time for action is not tomorrow, but this very second as my spirit moves upon your heart. Go to the description, use the PayPal link or super thanks, and declare your partnership with my word today. Now that my heart has been fully poured into yours, do not let these truths vanish like a morning mist. It would grieve me beyond words to see you return to your old ways after I have shown you the majesty of my plan. You carry the weight of my glory now, walk in it, live it, and never let the fire I have ignited today grow dim. I am with you, and I expect you to honor the sacred trust we have built in this divine encounter. My child, the moment of decision is upon you, and the atmosphere of your life is vibrating with the urgency of my call. Do not let this word fall to the ground, but seal your commitment right now by declaring your victory over every hidden snare. Speak it into existence, write it down, and let the heavens hear your resolve. I am awake, I am alert, and I will not fall into the trap. By typing these words below, you are not just commenting. You are establishing a prophetic boundary that the enemy cannot cross. Do not delay, for your breakthrough is tied to your immediate obedience. I am watching, I am waiting, and I am ready to move the mountains of your life as you take this step of faith. Amen.